Karibuni biik tugul chekosubech eng mtandao nebo Facebook eng kebeberwek tugul. Kimwae pole huyakakipandam kosubkei ak ng'alekab musoknotet, lakini kongoi agere biik tugul eng kebeberwek cheterchin. Agere angot Mr. Kid D all the way kong'ete kebebertab olimbo Kericho County. Mwawech kityo eng kemboutab rani ale inyorchinech ano kemi episode number 25 nebo show nenotok kichame Igere ne chitab Kalenjin kong'ete kingetou safarit akoi betutab rani. Kiwekchini kamuktaindet kongoi eng ripset ak chomyet nekokoribech, kokondoiwech akoi kichamegei kemi kebeberta nebo emetab Australia. Karibuni toekchok chekitinye eng betutab rani. Kitinye toek cheechen kabisa chemasapos ikosan eng kemboutab rani. Mwawech kityo kele inyorchinech ano shean show nebo betutab rani, laikan show nebo betutab rani, ak imwawech kityo ile inyorchinech ano ngimi emetab Kenya, ngimi emetab emotinwek, emetab America, emetab Canada, emetab Australia ak emotinwek tugul. Kongoi biik chagere kakoingian eng kemboutab rani all the way kobun kebeberwek tugul chemi emetab Australia ak emotinwek tugul. Lechina karibu eng show nebo betutab rani nebo Igere ne chitab Kalenjin. Tikibwatwa kityo kele kiwechi kongoi eng kampunit notok ko Optiven. Optiven komi kebebertab olimbo Nairobi County. Agere director kakoingian, ko kikile kityo simosirgei ak tilyanutik anan ko biikab oretng'ung iwe icheng kampunit nekikure Optiven Property Limited eng kebebertab Nairobi sikosikyi kotoretun ialchi kiy nekikure nebo baadaye mutai kaietu iribegei. Kongoi biik chagere koingiani, biik chagere kostreameni eng kemboutab rani. Ameche kityo aib nafas neinegei ami kebeberta nebo emetab Australia. Ang'ete emoni bo Australia, the land of the kangaroo, land of down under, keba akoi kebeberta nebo olimbo Columbus, Ohio. Balozi Peter Rono, amune olabo Columbus, Ohio.
Kongoi Osea, kongoi kastoikyok, kasubikyok tugul eng kebeberta tugul olomi anan tokwek cheomite. Kimeche ketachak tugul eng betutab rani kemite episode notok 25 ne kikere toonyo kakoit. Kimeche kelecho karibu kokikanye anan kokikany toondoni mising, ako abwoti ale oyie eng betutab rani kenyoru kelchin sikobit ketebse inendet kenai bandanyi akoi ole mitei, amu abwoti ale bandanyi koite kocherin inyendet eng ole imi kotko teit ole imakchinigei. Ko Osea kichamegei eng kebeberta nebo Ohio, lalang emoni kaekat, so toko karon lakini kokararan eng betutab amut kechamegei nebo man. Ko mangen ale une kebeberta nemitei inendet Janet angen ale toko karon mising inye imi olimbo California, agere the bridge nebo kebebertab California. Ko kameche kityo imwoiwech ile une, angen ale toko karon tomo iker okot olobo sang, lakini uamune.
Kongoi Balozi ako kongoi Hosea ako karibu toonyo nebo rani Rt.Rev. Bishop Emmanuel Chemengich ak toonyo kora nekitindoi ko Reverend Philip Sang. Karibu chitugul nekasech kora eng tugenyi Igere ne chitab Kalenjin. Karonene rani ko abaibai ako awekchini Jehova kongoi amu ripset ako good health, ako abaibai tako saa 10 eng oli liep California, lakini kichamegei and we are thankful to God. Kongoi chitugul nekasech shan laikan show nenyo sikechergei, sikinetkei tugul ako sikiberuragei tugul.
Kongoi nye Janet eng kebeberta noto bo California. So igere ile toko karon mising ako kongoi amu keib kasarta sikemite tugul. Angen ale eng kebeberta nin kotonyo kakwam lunch. Reverend nekimite tuwai kebeberta nebo Ohio ko kaekat, ang nito kimi breakfast. Osea ko mangen ale sangapi uni kemboi eng Osea. Ko kimito akwek cheterchin. Osea kochopchin, meche sikochopchigei ruondo, kakeng'etje noto nekit sikong'et anan kakong'et Janet. Reverend anan Bishop eng kebeberta nin ko kakwam lunch, ko notok nekekere kele wendi kowalaksei, ako kongoi amu musongnotet nitok nekimuchi keitchigei asikenai kele oyie akot ngaimi ole imi keitu oloto imitei. Ko tos igere ne chitab Kalenjin kecheng'e bikyok sikenai kele bochin ano, mieno, ae ne, asikekas atindionwa asikobit kocherech. Ko abwoti ale icheroksei eng betutab rani. Ko ameche kityo aib kasari ketesetai ko Osea ngawe kebeberta nobo Adelaide, Australia, sing yagitau te tutiet ke tau te tutiet nya ko te moi weji le sube jo ngo kemete ke moi ko ngoi not a company na ba Octaven en gabe bertap Nairobi ne Igeere lo ye kogi much ke den company ni amu in tugu ke tesatai agenge ko yan ko sponsor program ni na ba kwe meje kora ke saru ki komyan biik chemite diaspora ole ngwe investment ngolimbaga ke amera pia ne tugun chechang ne lakini kikotoretech kampunini simosirge ak tilyanutik mosirge ak biik ko kararan kecheng a credible company neu notok asikobit kotoretin yeyoe investment eng olimbaga imi loin anan imi kebebertab diaspora ko kongoi eng kasubikyok kimeche kesom kele yeijoinenech imwa ile isubech imyeno akimwa kaineng'ung asikobit kora kemwa kele kikere ano kosubet kobun ano atya kemeche kora kesom kele ngot kotomo konai chorwa neng'ung isharan asikobit keitchi ako much kosubech akine eng kebeberta nemi amu makimeche komisen anan kochilil ng'alek chekinyoru eng betutab rani abwoti ale kinyoru cherset ne inegei kobun inendet taonyo Bishop ko kongoi Bishop amu keib kasarta anan boroindo asikobit inyo kingen kele oo boisieng'ung lakini kongoi netetanyang muren ako kikosenenkei ako kongoi mising amu keib kasaratak asikemite tugul eng betutab rani ko kongoi kora taonyo noto Reverend Philip Arap Sang noto ko pastor nenyu eng kebeberta nebo Ohio nekenyo kora sikobit ketestai tugul eng betutab rani ako kimeche kenyoru Hosea asikobit ketou tetutiet eng yu ko Hosea mongen ale teikere okot ng'o asikobit ketestai Hosea.
Kongoi balozi Bitarono, kongoi engineer, kongoi baba askofu akoitagat eng betutab rani emi kebeberta niba ameaibe nafas atajin ami emetab Australia. Karibu, feel free, feel at home. Karibu wara Reverend Sang all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Happy to subet in game about Abraham. Agere Vincent Ramo, go subet Olimba Tokyo, Japan, Kongoi Vincent. Ayabe Bridget Chero, watching live from Olimba Bertaniba, Saudi Arabia. Kongoi Ami Chabet Koech, tune in from Mo University. Olimba Bertaniba says Mijine, Egure Kipchumba Silla, Kipchumba tune in all the way from Bertaniba Tui, in the Kenya. DJ Nanga Joe Harabit watching live from Bertaniba, Washington DC. A picture junk is with Mwalimu Eric Maraba. Tune in all the way from Hungary, Kongoi Mwalimu, Agere Gaishian Show, Kongoi Big Tega Ocean Show, Game about Abrani, Agere Manuela Kimboy, all the way from Bertaniba, Olimba Eldoret, Kongoi Joash, all the way from Big Queen, Bertaniba, Nanti County, Kongoi Big Jagere Kidi Mano. Kongoi big tugul jagere ka tunin and game about Abrani. I'm taking 2000 Ocean, Alfred Sajin all the way from Western Australia. Millicent, the Wambak T-Rock all the way from Sydney, Australia. DJ Swas down all the way from Sydney, Australia. Melbourne, Charles Koech, Wakili, Moses Koech all the way from Melbourne, Australia. Happy tugul jaga tunin in. Angotarab Cheme born all the way from Doha, Qatar. A picture dange to Ingani and game about Tabrani, or like an Ocean Shone to Tabrani. Meeting TV Tajan, show the go sirta, Hogigi, which gate Ingo Petare show, Hogigi TV Garibu Elibutaman, meeting game about Tabrani, Gopki 2G show, Gogagi TV Garibu Elibutiptem and game about Tabrani. Utani Gitine and Betu Tabrani, Gongot Kugemi Oret, Italel Gedogo, at this was a cheat show about Tabrani. No, the show never at the middle of pandemic, but on you be to Tabran, you made a Sogoni Kama in a message, the budget to go and game about Tabran. Gawe will Balos Bitarono, Agabertanava, Columbus, Hawaii.
Kongoi nye Hosea imite kebeberta noto bo Adelaide kebebertab South Australia. Ko kebendi ketau tetutiet nebo betutab rani mutyo makimuch kenyoru tiendo necham ketaunet betutab rani lakini ngano kosubkei ak musoknotet ko Hosea mongen ngotikoso Hosea ko uni makikoschindosi Hosea
Wakako imingalega muswongnotet lakini ngetestai balozi.
Kongoi nye Janet ko kosubkei ak muswongnotet ko noto nekeimech lakini ngano kechomegei ko kongoi chi age tugul akwek cheosubech kobun tokwek cheterchin. Kongoi kakekasa kobunu kebeberwek choto tugul olimbo Japan ko kitinye biik kobun tokwek cheterchin eng dunia komugul. Kongoi che nekit koruiyo, kongoi che kakong'etyo, kongoi che nekit kwam lunch kelejinok oye ongetestai eng tetutiet nebo betutab rani. Kakoit toonyo ko toot nito ko namba 25 eng betutab rani kong'etegei kakitou tetutioni kemeche kemwa kongoi ing chi age tugul. Ko kotomo keit kenai kele kinyorchin amu kakinyorchi toonyo kebeberta nebo Kitale eng emetab Kenya ko ameche akur toechutok komwoiwech kityo kokatech asikobit ketestai sikenai kele kimi ak toonyo. Ko ngotoune Reverend nemite kebeberta nebo Ohio ko Reverend ameche ikat kasubikcho kilechi chamgei sikenai kele imi Reverend.
Kongoi balozi mwoe kongoi ingen kasarta neu nitok nekokono bet aik agenge nebo kipindi neben Igeere ne Chitab Kalenjin. Kiami episode mangen ale kinamba ata ako abaibai rani mising aker komiten bishop nenyunet noto ko in Rt.Rev.Dr. M.Chemengich komiten number 25. Kianetkei ng'alek chechang kobun bishop nenyunet ak ayani ale chang biik eng achek cheipkonetegei ng'alek chechang kobun kipindi nitok ne Igeere ne Chitab Kalenjin eng episode nitok po 25. So ko kichamegei eng olep Columbus, Ohio kou ye kakomwa balozi kaking'etye ami atoroti boisiet ko nesire tugul ko kilosu Jehova amu kakomuch kotuyech achek tugul chekibunu komoswek cheterotin eng ng'ony komugul. Akotok tugul akole karibuni siketestai tugul eng kipindi nitok. Kongoi balozi.
Kongoi nye Reverend Philip Sang komite kebeberta nebo Ohio Columbus aking'etyo karon abwoti ale mara ngokainyoru chaik nyo ko kongoi, ngot kotomo kosichengchigei chaik lakini kichomegei kunotok okot imuchi itaune juice ya tugul ikeni chaik ko kongoi. Ameche atach toonyo eng betutab rani notok ko Right Reverend Bishop Chemengich. Ameche ikat kityo bororietab Kalenjin ak biik cheisubech ko Bishop. Okoi unmuten gei, you are muted.
Kongoi balozi neimite Columbus, Ohio, Hosea neimite Australia ak Janet nebo Silicon Valley in California ak my Reverend Philip Sang in Columbus, Ohio. Amache amwa ale baibai kot ko boroindo nye kokono ayu kutot nebo program nebo Igeere ne Chitab Kalenjin. Kongoi kot amu kotacha ng'alale sobondo nenyu ak banda nekikono Jehova amin kong'ete betusiek chekikisikyo tulwonin bo kony nebo kapkuko akoi rani ayu bishop nebo Anglican Church diocese nebo Kitale. Kongoi kot amu boroindo kono aketi biik tugul che bo bororietab Kalenjin yemi Middle East, yemi Asia, kuyokakas, yemi Australia, yemi Africa, Kenya, ak yemi North America ak South America.
Kongoi nye Bishop, kongoi ako itagat nebo man. Kikosigei mising okot Bishop kokakikas kele ibunu kapkuko ingele ngeba history mongen sitokomwoiwech okot Reverend okot ngesup history ko kikokisup kokibwa kiutu nimbo olimbo Israel ketokosung'yun kebwa ketokos just tilwop kony ko sikoi imwoiwech ile mine tilwop kony ni amu atinye maket neo kabisa eng sobondonyu ale oye lazima ait kebeberata bo tilwop kony akosome kina Hosea kina Janet situn beshe nekakiba ipkebe olindo kikotisyo amu biikab tulwop konyo kokase kimi banda kemeche kebwa amu angen ale mi tuguk chekororon kebeberatak ko ngotko kebeberatak bo tulwop kony ko kikomong biik cheu Bishop komi tuguk chekororon chebunu kebeberatak so itagat Bishop ko itagat nebo man kisome kityo kele yakitesetai ko ngotume ng'ololi ko si imuten sikobit ketestai ko kongoi kaokas ole kitinye toonyo eng betutab rani ko eng kebeberta ni agere biik cheisubech Manuela Meli ko kongoi isubech Manuela kong'etege Eldoret agere kora biik cheu okot Evans Keitany following from Iten kimeche kele kongoi agerin kora Philaris Kipkore noto komi kebebertab Columbus ko kongoi amu isubech Julius Bor Kiboen anan Kibois ale following from Kamoiwa kimeche kele kongoi ing akwek tugul cheosubech omwoiwek ile osubech kong'etege ano koto Kiplagat kale isubech kong'etege Darwin abwoti al Darwin ko olimbo Northern Australia ole mite biik chekekure Aborigines ko kongoi inginye neisubech eng kebeberatak Kiplagat ko akwek tugul mwoiwech ile isubech ing'ete ano ko ketesetai kounitok ko ameche kityo Hosea mangen ko kachilil biik cheisubech ko kamwa tutikin eng yo Hosea ameche awek asikobit ketou tetutiet Hosea.
Kongoi Balozi Peter Rono, kongoi eng toekyok introduction, kongoi askofu, kongoi Pastor Sang. Ameche tai recognize biik cheisubech eng kebeberet emetab Australia. Kitinye biik, kitinye timitab kebeberet Adelaide South Australia kondochin noto Kiptoiyot Ian Sulu, Dennis Kirwa ak boisiek Asneng ango Steve mwenyewe Gigen Noah ak timit tugul nebo kebeberwek emetab Australia ak kebeberwek tugul chebo emetab Australia. Agere Balozi tune in, log in, agere mi tugul komi president notok CTNA all the way from Western Australia ak timit ni nebo Kitwek Association kebeberta nimbo kebebertab Western Australia. Agere Tabitha chepkwony all the way from Sydney Australia ale mi log, mi tune in besai kotokyingei saa sita lakini kale marue eng kemboutab rani kore kole kabek show nebo betutab rani. Kongoi eng biik cheosubech eng kebeberta nebo YouTube, itinye biik kora chemi kebebertab YouTube. Agere angot Marion all the way from Italy olimbo kebebertab Siena. Agere chi kora nemi kebebertab Malta kotokomi kebebertab Italy. Agere chi kora nemi olimbo kebebertab Germany noto ko nekikure Kilio mwenyewe. Kongoi biik chok kotiketestai keshare sikeityi biik. Kongoi biik kora chekolike yan page nyo nebo Igeere ne chitab Kalenjin sikibwatwa kityo kele through courtesy nebo kampunit nebo Optiven. Ngimokyinigei king kolimbo Nairobi iwechi kongoi kampunit nebo Optiven amu chang biik chekokotoret, chang biik chekokobaorian ako chang biik chelen Optiven is the way to go. Karibu Balozi asiketau show nebo betut.
Kongoi nye Hosea ko Optiven ko is the way to go. Kongot itinye imi sangutab Kenya anan okot imi olobo Nairobi iwe kampunit nito bo Optiven sikekonin nambarishek eng tai yo biik cheibirchini. Agere director kosubech kemeche kemwa kongoi Leonard Serem imi kebebertab Sydney ko kongoi kora. Agere biikab Australia rani Hosea akwamwan kole kisubi tetutietab rani. Kongoi biikab Australia tokoruitos chebo kebebertab America lakini sikonomchei tai ko ngano kechomegei. Kongoi eng biik chekakong'etyo eng kebeberta nebo America. Ngot imi olebo America imwoiwech akemeche kemwa kongoi kotokaing'et chito neimi kebeberatak. Agere Prince Tommy Kirwa tuned in from Kaiboi eng olimbo Nandi ko kongoi inginye chito nekaitunenen ko ngetestai kemwa kele isubech imyeno ko kotom ketou tetutietab rani ko amu kitinye kelchin ketinye inendet Bishop ak ketinye Reverend ko ameche asom Reverend Philip Arap Sang eng betutab rani kewole cham ko mauni lakini akoi ketoune saet amu oye kitinye biik oeng chebo tisik oeng eng yu so otoretech amu kararan ketoune saet eng betutab rani amwoe ale katakararan kora ketoune kila lakini ngano ko amu kitinye Reverend eng yu Ko Reverend ameche asom itou rani eng saet asikobit ketestai ko Reverend Sang.
Ongeza tugul. Kiptayat Jehova neimi barak kipsengwet ak imi kobotech eng sait neu nitok. Kimwaun kongoi akobo boroindo nekaikonech ketuiye kou biikab Kalenjin eng ng'ony komugul. Kimwaun kongoi akobo tetutiet Igeere ne Chitab Kalenjin. Tetutiet ne kikonetech ng'alek chechang akoyotwech kurgotik chekimakibwotini akot kele kinoe. Kongoi Jehova akobo Hosea komi Australia, kongoi akobo Balozi komi Columbus, Ohio, kongoi akobo Janet komiten komi California. Kongoi Jehova amu kikochi icheket boroindo neu nitok sikobit koyat ng'alek en Facebook sikonyor kokas biikab Kalenjin ng'alek cheechen chekikwai Jehova eng emet tugul, chekikwachi biik chechang akotesetai kwae sikobit Jehova koek biik chenoe kole man mabo kiy yeimite ko ilong'un Jehova kotiwe yemebwotyin biik kole iite. Mache kesa kele ngenetikei betutab rani kobun Bishop Emmanuel Chemengich, mache kesa Jehova sikobit itou kobotech ngeit let kilosun ak ketororin amun soen kainetab Jesu Kristo kiptayandenyo. Kongoi.
Amen. Kongoi nye Reverend imi kebeberta nito bo Columbus, Ohio. Kongoi kaketou tetutiet kebendi ketesetai. Ko kamwaun alechin kakinyorchi tonyo kebeberta nebo Trans Nzoia County, abwoti ale Kitale. Ko Kitale ko capital nebo Trans Nzoia County, ko kakinyorchi inendet Bishop Reverend Emmanuel Chemengich. Ko kanyoru ale kebeberitak pa anan area nebo kebeberta nito bo Trans Nzoia kotindoi 2469.9 kilometer square, noto ko kerge ak 953.6 square miles. Population eng 2019 komite karibu 990, abwati alang nakait millionit 990,341 eng 2019. Trans Nzoia kotindoi 5 constituencies, 5 divisions ak 5 sub-counties. Ko sugulishek chemitei kebeberita ba Trans Nzoia kotindoi primary 483, tinyei secondary schools 169, ko mwaat anan tindoi campuses 4, tindoi youth polytechnics 14 ako tindoi nokilen ECT 761. Economic activities chekinyorchin kebeberi ko mising ko indoito ng'alekab agriculture, ng'alekab bandek, mite kora chaik kebeberita bo Trans Nzoia, mite coffee, horticulture, dairy farming komi barak ak kwanyun tourism. Ko mameche autie ale yewe kebeberitak itokyigei biwe okolin kakimeche tugul kebe tilwop kony nga mite kebeberta nebo Bungoma. Ko loto kole mi biik anan loto kole kikiugu panita tugul ni kapkuko komi Mount Elgon. Ko kimeche kebe ketokyigei olindok. Reverend Philip Sang tun kakibe ameche kebe akoi Mount Elgon. Tun kakibe Hosea Kenya kemeche keit Mount Elgon. Tun kakibe Janet kemeche keit Mount Elgon. So Bishop kibwone akoi Mount Elgon nematiny. Akemeche koborwech tuguk chekororon chekikesoman eng history cheteketese kesomani, meche kesom kele tos testai osirwech asikobit yebwone biik akemwochi biik kelechi mi tuguk chekororon chebunu kebeberatak cheu okot bishop nenyonet ko abwoti ale kibendi ketepse inendet kongetegei. Ko kotomo keit yotok ko Hosea, mongen kotite ikere ile isubech okot ng'o asikobit ketestai. Ko amwaun kora abwatun alechini meutie Octaven asikobit ketestai ketepse tonyo eng betut. Ko ole kibetitoi eng betutab rani ketebe anan awendi atou atebe tebutik karibu 4 eng yebata kekur Janet, eng yebata kekur Hosea, keoltanetoni kunotok akoi keit let nebo tetutietab rani age yo kibendi kora kemeche kora kenai kele isubechi myeno asikenai ngot komi tebut kora iteb asikobit keteb nekoto inye ketesetai eng betutab rani. Ko Hosea ameche anyo kebebera ini asikong'et in sitaimwa ile isuben ng'o asiketou tetutiet ko Hosea.
Kongoi balozi Peter Rono, takere biik kosubei kora akere Daktari Millicent Jebamba all the way from Sydney, Australia. Pe kora Professor Jelogoi all the way from Nairobi County. Ak biik chechang cheisubichu kosubech kongoi akere chi nekure Irene Sang isubech kobun kebeberta nebo Uthiru ing olimbo Nairobi County. Akere kora engineer nekikure Premier Chemng'eno all the way from olimbo Queensland, Australia. Linus kosubet from kebeberta nekure Tabi anan kebeberta nebo Northern side nebo Western Australia. Akere biik kora chemi kebeberta olimbo Dubai. Kongoi biikab Dubai. Kongoi kora akere biik chuk chebo mashinani chebo kebeberta olimbo Moi University, Keses, Tulwa Mwetuny, Yesunet kosubei biikab kokwatunwek chotok mi tune represented eng kemboutab rani. Moja kwa moja balozi Peter Rono tau ng'etwesho nebo betutab rani.
Kongoi nye Hosea, kongoi ngakwek tugul cheosubech ongetestai eng tetutiet. Kibendi ketou tetutiet nebo betutab rani kou ye kamwa kebendi ketepse inendet Bishop nenyonet nekakenyoru. Kongoi Bishop kotoketyini kora ale kongoi eng boroindo nekeib asikemite tugul eng betutab rani. Ko kebendi ketou tetutiet nebo betutab rani ko karibu akemeche kenai Bishop. Ko kibendi ketebe tebutik kunotok yekitesetai ko atebenen tebutik abwoti ale ang'wan eng yebata kenyoru Hosea komwoiwech kole isuben ng'o eng yebata keweke kenyoru Janet ketesetai kounotok. Ko Bishop kakekas kaikotisie kaketestai eng tetutietab rani ko kimeche kityo kenai kele Bishop Chemengich ko kikisikyin ano Bishop atya Bishop ko kiiwe primary ano akiwe secondary ano ko Bishop okoi unmuten ge amu imuten.
Kongoi balozi Rono.
Ako Bishop feel free kimeche kora i-alternaten kingen kele sometimes languages ko ngap kotinye pichinwek imuchi imwa ke floten ko ngomukak ngiro ile uyo ka floten in engineer anan ko floten Hosea imuchi mixen kora inde Kiswahili ak Kingereza kikose tugul ko testai Bishop.
Kongoi. Kelen the new reality nebo linguistics. Kongoi. Kuyo kokas kainenyu kigureno Emmanuel Chemengich. Kawele kikesikyo kigure Chemoge village. Ang olimbo tulok kongilen Sangda nyaba Chemoge village, Mount Elgon sub-county in Bungoma County. Lakini kawele aminye ku Kitale in Trans Nzoia County. Kikisicho kenyit nebo 69 or 1969. Atinye kenyisiek konom ak aeng ite arawani nyone on 13th of June. That is my birthday. Ku primary nekyao ku kikure Chemoge primary ang village nekisikyo ak the next village kule kiuchi baba ki Algoret kikure Kongit is about 5 kilometers apart. Later got a high primary standard 7, the old system before the 844. Got a standard 7 CP that time. Our Kapsakwon High School, which is another 10 kilometers away from my village. That is also in Mount Elgon. After Form 4, then went to A level, Form 5, back Form 6, Kibabi High School, Negit Bungoma, or Bungoma Town, and still in Bungoma County. So that is my life, primary at high school.
Ko Bishop, kameche kora iteschi kemwa ang nyo mongen iboru kele kisir kinyewe sikobit amu ngibiwendi the next stage iwendi A level ko kaisir, so abwoti ale kisir. Ameche kora imwoiwech Bishop, itinye siblings anan ingolingwonget kikisucho ko ata ako tos iwendi sukul yokoki korom anan kibichi mising iwendi, were there any challenges in terms of kebendi sukul amu kengete primary nyiwe secondary akiwe akimwaiwech akobo your siblings, were there any challenges going to school, Bishop?
Kongoi. Yes, ani I will akwet nabo kanetik. My dad kitau kanetishet 1960. Mama nanyu kitau 1959. Who
Ko pole unege frisen Bishop mongen ale kalya ka frisen simengung ko kongoi kakekas kele inye ko ilakwetab mwalimuinik eng yo sikokote imwoiwech akere ka frisen Bishop ngot imuchi refreshan sitestai abwoti ale kapita freeze out eng yo ko Hosea ameche imwoiwech ile isubech akot ngo ya tugul kochobegei, imuchi refreshan Bishop asiwege ko yewege imwoiwech ko Hosea.
Kongoi
Okay, kongoi Bishop ka freezen lakini ngano ko sawa testai.
Mutya I got lost. Kakaita nanyi. Kakale so family ni kusukyoy sigik ku bik chekitinye priority nengwa ngalekab somanet. Amu kikanetik. Kinete baba ak mama nenyu primary school from 1959 and 1960 respectively until they retired and they were 55. They are now in the retirement. Yeah, I've since moved to a village close to Kitale and Igeere. So let me challenges to talk about village in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, there was no piped water. There was no electricity. And my village is the last where I grew up. It's the last farm before you go to the forest, about Mount Elgon Forest. After the forest is the border with Uganda. So part of the challenges to dynamics of growing up in a very remote rural village. Where to check your after the vehicles cannot reach our village. That was a major challenge. There was no electricity. All the schools I studied in, we only used generators because there was no electricity. There was no electricity those days. You would not even imagine. Not to mention tarmac roads and all that. So I would say those were some of the challenges of growing up in 70s and 80s. But generally, I grew up in a family supportive. Later on, when my dad retired, he was ordained an Anglican clergy. So he's a reverend also. So we take up ngalagap kanisa, ang ngalagap sumanet, big priority.
Kongoi nye Bishop to may mwaiwech ile inambata in family ng wanget.
Yes, man siblings. I'm number 5. Atinye 4 brothers and 3 sisters. I'm number 5 in the order.
Kongoi nye Bishop. So kainyoru tos kongoi na tayo mu sigik chakisha ko na ngalekab somanet at ya mwishowe ko kopwa ngalekab kanisa papa nyo ako negit noton nekemwoe kele much kokitoretin asikobit inyo kongang no kokimi challenges ko kongoi ko Bishop kaitar yutok teimite koiwe secondary school kangetar secondary school iwe A levels kingyapata A levels korub ne anan kiyai ne ing yutok
pas ani anyun karya nenyu napatay ko clergy or a minister kiatar A level nyoru 3 principles amu kikiana ile kiguraje tayat kubanga lekap kanisa. I would descended na kanisa. I went and approached the Bishop of Eldoret Diocese Bishop Alexander Muga. Alenjane quarter high school, Amoje Ajungalaga Panisa. Well, what Bishop Muga told me, I had just turned 20 years old. Alenja, young man, you are still very young. You don't know what you're asking for. Alenja, what about me giving you a scholarship? And I go new scholarship, we will be done in this man degree. I got Nemaba theology. That can you more like theology. Actual ministry. Alenja, no, Bishop, that will be a waste of resources. I'm gonna see 4 years, I will buy a degree, and yet my heart is in theology. As Commodore, I knew our evangelism. And we will improve for 6 months. That year will enjoy after 6 months. I'm going to visit you more like a meeting like a bad reverend and I wouldn't scholarship you done it. That is even a better way to do it. So immediately after my results, around March, that was 1989, just finished high school the previous December, 1988. I went to be an evangelist.
Bishop Paul Gatelin, Gunotok, Kenyor Chano Gurset, Kenyor Gurset, Koteimi Sugul, Toski, Kibi Jutsiu, Sugul, Itoyam Dodgebi, Vegasiloye, Unemi, Gurse Munyu Taganan Genyor Chano.
Yes, Kianyor Sugul High School. Amu Kiayu member of Christian Union. Kiayu treasurer, among other different offices of Christian Union. Kijam go to my family. Tisi kijam go born in your pastoral ministry. Yegabwa our area. Because those days Gibaro and Gapsa parishes. So you have one section. So whenever they came to an area, they would come to our home. I always felt and saw myself with a collar like this one. Although I was doing economics in A-level, geography and history, at one time, Kalenjin I would be an economist. But every time I thought I was an economist, I saw a collar with me. So I convinced myself I'll be an economist, but wearing a collar. I think that's how God was impressing the call on me. So to Natere High School, I just confirmed. Actually, I missed one point to go to public state university in Kenya. And for me, that was a confirmation that it's a time to go to theology instead of economics.
So Bishop, kaiwe mangungyuta kainyo rugurset kainyo kagiyokten kabinyoru Bishop Muga college in Wuyanyo Limba Gumugon kaiwe Gumugon. What happened after that?
There was something else that God would use my trip to Gumugon. I will tell you that at the end. But like a evangelist and a priest, Reverend Christopher Kiru. Compound and there was 2 other priests. Those Reverend Alpha Lele is the chaplain of military episcopal KDF and head office headquarters and KDF senior chaplain of Protestant ministry. So we give me the 2 order, and we had been sent to the 3 of us to go and assess, evaluate ourselves whether we still want to get a call to ministry. So I was there for 6 months. Then I was called back. In that, give me the valley, bottom of Kerio Valley. So we would travel, we would walk by foot to many stations. The most profound one was from an area Negure Tamakal. Tamakal is at the bottom of the Kerio escarpment. We walked from Tamakal up the hill for 5 hours up the escarpment, walking to a place called Nyakuliang. At the end of that trip, I confirmed that this is where God wanted me to be. I felt a lot of joy in that. Maybe I've gone ahead of myself. By the time I went to Bishop Muga, in fact, it's a confirmation. Take me to theology.
Kongoi. So Ibileji the image what happened after that? Did he send you to America or what happened?
No, now the America was if I was to go for another degree.
Oh, okay.
If I was to stay with theology, I will have to go to a Kenyan Bible College. So because I qualified to go for degree program, worked our St. Paul's Theological College, now the St. Paul's University. Igeere, St. Paul's United Theological College in Limuru. So I went to Limuru to do Bachelor of Divinity, which is a degree that you do if you are seeking ordination. In those 6 months, I met a lady who later on became my wife. So maybe I don't need to elaborate. So God wanted me to go there, not just to confirm my call, but also to get a beautiful woman who was going through high school that time. But later on, after I finished college, I go now ordination about that is the lady I would propose to and would marry about 8 years later.
Kongoi nye Bishop kashe jambandagan bagino kongoi ko St. Paul's itar, and then what happened after kaitar St. Paul's? So what mate in America kai?
Yes.
Ko nye college kai, and then korum ne nyota go Bishop.
Yes, you got St. Paul's 3 years. That time the bachelor's was a 3-year program because of this all the system. After 3 years, I graduated, and then I began ordination now, ministry. In 1992, as a deacon. I our St. Paul's parish in Eldoret. We remember Kidiwa, for those who are familiar with Eldoret. Kidiwa. 1 year as a curate, which is an assisting priest. That year, after the 1 year, I was posted to St. Matthew's Cathedral, still in Eldoret town, next to Kenit and Raymond. So I served there for 1 year. By God's special provision, while I was serving, after I finished 1 year, an opportunity offered itself for me to be given a scholarship to go abroad. And then the USA, where Bishop Moko wanted me to go earlier, I now landed in the USA, but this time to go and do masters in my theology, not another degree. So I only served for 2 years. And then I got a scholarship to go to Philadelphia, where I will be the next phase of my life. For 11 years, I was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, kongoi nye Bishop. So, kibi ay gasang nyo kenyishe kawek 2 years imite Kenya ko kaitar university anan kaitar degree course nangung nye iboishen Eldoret, and then in the process while doing that inyo. So, ugele kangi tesata inyo imete kasit kapa in Eldoret inyo sukul. So, kai to America. So, ugele genyor scholarship anan what was the process to be able to go through? So kabit amumara kumiji kora anan ko pasta ya negotiating nyo ako kasi ko legilyon kagir nungung ko panda ngunginye ko kewe yo ibigil kay lasa mako kiyay kasi nagararan ipkegir kele yo magi kikochi chicho ko testai anane. So moiwe panda ngung
never die. Kanyoru scholarship never for World Council of Churches. And interesting, I never applied for it. Something happened in my life. I never applied for most of things. They normally come my way. So, Kimi scholarship, Bishop. That time, Bishop Muga had now died, 1991. By the time I was starting ministry to Bishop Stephen Kewasis, who took over from Bishop Muga. Who grew up in school, Kage Guru scholarship. Can you try to apply? We go make new scholarship, 20 clergy through National Council of Churches. Unfortunately, all the scholarships were cancelled that year. But by God's provision, somebody saw my age, that I was very young, and I could use a 1 year program, never certificate. So all of them were cancelled. One day, Ugura Bishop of Usakulenja, I applied another school. This was a Lutheran seminar now in Philadelphia. I let you know I never applied for any other place. What had happened was the director for scholarship in New York, who was in charge of the 20 scholarships, was impressed by my performance in bachelor's program. And my age, I want to give this fellow an opportunity to come for 9 months, 1 year, to do a certificate program. So sought my admission and sent it by fax. Those days there were no emails. If they were there, some of us would not know that there was something like that. Kioki Bishop admission about Lutheran Seminary that had not applied. There's a 9 months program here. Get the scholarship. Do you want to go there for 9 months and come back? Bishop, why not? Let me go there. In those 9 months, I did so well and completed all my courses that I was actually allowed to finish my master's program from there. So that is how things happened. But my performance was very good with the bachelor's program. And I was still very young. I was 25 years old, not married. And the director of scholarship just felt I should be given the scholarship. The rest is history. The 9 months became 11 years. I will answer that if you post a question.
Kongoi kai to America, Bishop. So koi to be nyai soman. So ing ba nung meet America 11 years. Ko kilaban down no school. How did you pay? Anangi scholarship to so how are you able to transition a more iboruge laganya yai masters and then doctor sai. So iboruge lagi testai gunotak. So took you to ko scholarship and networking jagi and how did you maneuver around ibinyoru to kuta to Bishop?
Kya New America, you are talking 1994. The first 2 years at a degree na batai, kya me the scholarship 100%. The next masters, you want me scholarship. And I also started parallel doctoral program. So you want me scholarship. So now Nagel and hustling between working for the college and also going outside work. Tuition. Like give me scholarship, check it up you go in scholarship or performance. So either the dean's scholarship or the president's scholarship or that for the developing country. So I made sure that I did very well so that I would acquire the scholarship. So I got the tuition scholarship. Where you live and other living expenses you had to venture on your own. So that one we had to hustle during summertime. We meet like painting, lawn mowing, security job, and then come September you are in class and moving on as you go parallel with that until the remaining 9 years completed that. So I finished the 2 master's degrees and a doctoral program. I used to come home every 2 years. After the first 2 years, I came to Kenya to get married. Then we went back with my wife. So my wife was there 9 years. So the first 2 years, I met a single guy. But the next 9 years, we were with my wife. So we were hustling together. We got a baby after 5 years. I always say we gave ourselves 5 years of a honeymoon. So getting an honeymoon 5 years because of economic realities. Then getting our firstborn daughter, who is now finishing first year in Kenya here at the university. But we hustled together with my wife those other 9 years.
Kongoi Bishop, so Gonga Sailen, we hustled Koga, Gio Kiao, it would be going. So Kyo hustle and Duai, Kongoi Bishop. Kongoi so Gaita Stai, Ago Barugele, Gia Solen Agita Stai, Peter Masters, Peter PhD, Imite Goroni. Ko Amejagotake, Webertanimbo, Kebago, California, Gotonga, Tiota, or say, Amejate Moi, Lisubin. Asakobit kenyoru Janet kote tebutik che isubing niyo ko osea.
Kongoi balozi Bitarono, kongoi kora baba askofu. Ako ba safari ngung kaitau kidogo, lakini agere kochere biik chechang, agere koinspire biik chechang. Imuch kocham kokere koi baba askofu mengen kole kitaune ole loo. Ako ng'olyondon akemwa nebo hustle. kongoi ngasolaya keisubisho ing betutab rani jerit komi ng'ony kerechi Millicent Tirop all the way Sydney, Australia. Kongoi Solomon Tarus all the way from Sanya, Banandi County. Isube chini kwa chini. Irene Sang following from Nairobi. Kongoi Irene. Chongei watching live. Kongoi Chongei Jesse all the way from Sydney. Agere kora president nenata kuba association nekikure Keswa ngolimba kebebertab Sydney, Australia. Mama Tabitha mitun isubet pole chini kwa chini ak biik chechang cheisubet ing kemboutab rani. Agere biik cheisubet ing kebebertani ba YouTube, mtandao nebo YouTube. Agere mitun agere chi nekure Dominic Singwae all the way from kebebertani bo Midawin. Agere Jemima Beth Emerson kongwe Emerson Karo Job Kirwa all the way from Kapseret. Twines Korir Frederick Mayo Emmanuel Songok Kirau Bila all the way Western Australia. Dennis Kimngetich all the way Sydney. Dalu Twini Rotich New South Wales. Maureen kebebertan Wandalat Tracy Kipto Edna Kimutai kongwe biik chosubet ing mtandao nebo YouTube ak Facebook one-on-one kiwechi kongoi ing bichotok tugul. Kevin Lagat all the way from kebeberta neb Osea chita boda kebeberta nebo Kapkagaon ing kebeberta nimbo Nandi County. Elijah Korir kongoi Elijah ak biik tugul chosubet. Kiprotich Kirwa asola kongete kebeberta nebo Dallas Texas. Kongoi chita Dallas Texas. Chepkirui wherever you are. Kongoi Chepkirui ak biik tugul chosubet. Imwae kongoi Chumba C Yego. Ngetich Edwin Faith Chelimo kebeberta nebo Olimbo. Rosi Marisen mwenyewe ak biik tugul chosubet. Kimwae kityo kele olaikan Ocean Show nebo betutab rani. Kongoi Boaz Kemboi agere isubet chini kwa chini kobun kebeberta nebo Olimbo Nairobi. Karibu.
Kongoi Osea kotakibwatwok akobo Optiven company notok sponsor nenyonet eng betutab rani. Yeimukoksei oye ng'ololchi bichotok sikekonok namba nyo anan iwe website nenywa asikobit iro ile inyorchinigei ne eng kebeberta notok bo Nairobi ak emetab Kenya. Konokotos irekei ak biik anan ko tilionutik ko kararan iyai business neng'unget nechulat ko boisie kampunit ne chulat neu Optiven netoretin sikobit inyoru kalyet eng muguleldo ng'ung kosir osirkei ak biik. Kotomo keitchi Janet ko kameche Janet si yewalu tebutiet anan tebutik cheitinye Bishop. Kokemwa Bishop eng yo ile kiowasoleni, ngimwa ile kiowasoleni ko kioe ne ingele singuno mara ko boisio ne nekioe eng olep America ingele ameche ngile ngichamgei asoleni konai biik kole kiasolin ko kioe ne. Tos mi choronok chuk chekibwa nyekikochi kasit nebo nekikonobi kuniok kole mrechu kichamgei serial eng olimbo Mosoriot. Nyekikochi siri kole kwai kabisa nekikiloe kuniok eng yo ngipkomi katikati yo ko lole asista ako sama emet ingele sama komalole koroni kabisa. Nekiyai murechu tomo koit 45 minutes koteb kole kakeyai yekai saishek at kelecho ko ndakimeche kelipana ko tomo koyam akot kelipana amu tomo tar 1 hour. Koker kole ngicham keyoe serial ngakokoromit serial nebole. Hustling nito nekicham iyoe Bishop ko kioe ne eng hustling.
Kongoi balozi amu man kakila hustling kulen biik sait age ng'olole ng'alekab deputy president akine by hustling amu ng'alek chebo biik kasisiek chekiyae eng America ko kasisiek chemanamegei ak somaneng'ung, manamegei ak profile neng'ung. Imatoiwa status and you do what you need to do. Kasisiek chekiyae ko chebo painting. Chama painting korik namagei ak gisro contractor and then we go to do painting. Never ani ak my wife gitunya what I would say unregistered company. Negi kigisrech ani ak inendet we clean the banks. So we would go to 5 banks in the evening after 5. We do cleaning of the 5 banks before 10. Go back to the house to be able to do that. So we didn't enter gas in me, never paid. Our school, they take it to one bank after another one. So we had the keys, cleaning, and then move on. The one that was probably the most dramatic, well, I did security also. I mean, in the seminar in the college. You see security of America, you see it and look at the CCTV cameras and be able to report to the police. So it is not the security like G4S or Hatari security in Kenya. I mean, it is a big club. So I think I needed others to know that. Like in the most dramatic, Abu Adibalos like Kijami meet New Jersey at one point.
Kemi Maryland, Sanyo New Jersey.
Maryland.
I was in Maryland. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now I went to Camden in New Jersey. It's just across the bridge from Philadelphia. When you want a contract, I need never to remove paint from an old building to preserve an old building. It took me 3 months. Like my brother was in Birmingham, Alabama. Agurgunyo, because the money was very good. Actually, we did a big project back home. He bought his land, did whatever things. He bought a car, his first car was that is the year that he came, his first summer. So what you do is you smear it with a chemical, and then you do water pressure so that you don't damage the brick, the old brick that was used to do 300 years before. We did that for 3 months. And then we were paid, it was a contract that we are just paid a lump sum money. So when we saw the money and converted into Kenya shillings, and so we did it. And you could go, I would step on the ladder, and then he goes up there and you pray that my brother will not come down. What happened that your brother fell from 4th floor down there. That was probably the most dramatic of all the jobs. In the meantime, I was also, because I was an ordained priest, I made a Sovanigra and the Episcopal Church. So I would do part-time. On Sundays, I would be in my official priestly order, serving. I would do that. Although the last 5 years of my stay in the US, I was now a full-time priest, serving as an assistant rector, as I was also doing the study. So the last 5 years or 4 years was better. I got to Gimaja Bishop Napa, Pennsylvania. That is Pennsylvania. Gimaja Lava Kenya. I will enjoy police. I want you to stay. Gimaja Black priest. In fact, the church I served was the first Black Episcopal church in the USA, then African Episcopal Church. So I had the good opportunity to work there, also as a professional. Like any to an alleged bishop, I have to go back to Kenya.
Kongoi Bishop Toma Keweka Kenya. So kumeja kutinga tunga America. So kongoi kameja kunata asokanai big amu ngap kutebisa big in comfort zone agutebisa manai kolegi asoleni aptuk chotokulju. Kagirale you are a very good painter. So ngoma kongenji ko kakanai big kole ingen ni painting. Ogotane Bishop kokya yutaba painting. I'm also a very good painter. We can paint the church. It's not a problem. But kongoi Bishop, awage na ipa issue ni chotokulju. Ngap kote bisabi kumameja kwaiyaga. Kote pche yago you are gifted in so many ways. Ko ameja genyoru Janet ko ngetege ata Janet ameja itepte butugu yagite satai so kabit kete stai gunota ko Janet.
Kongoi balozi kongoi kora eng Tonyo Bishop Chemengich nekitindoi rani eng chitukul neipchinechit shean sikecherake sikinet ke ki agenge anan ko aeng ko at the end of the show ko kaim ngolyo akle mi ngolyo nebo chitukul. So Bishop kemwa ile kiyai masters aeng masters ichu ko ki masters chebo ne Amache explain in which kidogo amu theology kongile theology I think it's a broad subject. I am not an expert at all in that field. Kikitindai Dr. Tarus a few weeks ago ko kikalenjech ki majane kosomanji theology nebo des. So I don't know if you had the same ambition and Kitinde a different vision. Karibu. Mute, Bishop. You're on mute. Unmute Bishop. Karibu.
Yes, man janet la theology ko jam ko tinye specializations jang. Me jabo biblical studies, we kaya Old Testament, New Testament, the Bible. Last time I used man ngalaga Greek and Hebrew. Actually, I used to teach Greek. My first master's degree, master's in New Testament studies. So Kajamaneti, I was assistant lecturer in Greek and seminary in Philadelphia. The second master's was in hermeneutics. Hermeneutics is biblical interpretation. The theories and the practices about interpretation of scripture. Hermeneutics. That year, my doctoral degree is practical theology in Christian education. So those are the areas that I focused on: biblical studies and practical theology, specifically Christian education. Under practical theology, we mean like about counseling, pastoral theology. We mean a systematic theology, we have philosophies now, about individuals. David Tarus, by God's own provision, took over from me. I will learn that later on. I was the executive director of Rt.Rev.Dr. and he took over from me. So he did systematic theology, which is more on the philosophy and the people who systematize the thinking process on theology from the time of Jesus' first century to the 21st century, in systematic theology.
Kongoi Bishop. Amache kora timwawech ile what was the name nebo sukulit amu angen ale much komi biik chekasechin kole na maybe they are interested. Karap koi kokulenchi kole ki ano sukulini, mwawech kityongon kainet. Acha I wanted to make a small comment. At least okweket ko kikichamwa ko solen petushechu ko kikowalak sheria, lazima you need a permit, you need OPT, CPT, ngalekab magechamda betushechu, but that is quite interesting. Time changes. Kokakile boishechi opportunities yemite. Awaka ole America kora kuma milk and honey. You have to work very hard no matter what. So picture kasechin kolin baka anan ko yemite. Ngemande sang ole ko maraisi. Igeere sometimes you have to stay up all night. Sigemuch kiyagun ki ya kesom ki sometimes, so be considerate ngalechatak akikilgei chi wherever you are, meet chang opportunities. So karibu Bishop, mwawech kityongon ile kikewe sukul ano atya sige satebenen the next question.
Kongoi Janet. Yes, sukulushek kyawe, the Master of Sacred Theology, which was in New Testament, Lutheran Theological Seminary in Philadelphia. And the doctoral degree, Doctor of Ministry, was in the same seminary, Lutheran Theological Seminary. The Masters in Hermeneutics, Westminster Theological Seminary, also just outside Philadelphia, Igeere, Glenside, just within the suburbs of Philadelphia.
Kongoi.
Ko Janet, pole ko ma mejatel ko en Philadelphia biik chemengen ko Philadelphia ko ole kikisire constitution nebo emetab America. So bo kamanut taonit nito kelen Philadelphia en Pennsylvania ko bo kamanut. Ako kito nakemwa Janet no imwa ilen ma honey and land of honey and milk emoni. So kita nekikimwoiwech Bishop ko kikile yenyon America ko malando milk and honey, you have to bring your cow. So yenyo ko menyo buch ketuteng'ung konyole sinya ikaiteng'ung, lakini nginyo buch meketuteng'ung komokoi nyoru chego. Testai Janet.
Kongoi Balozi. So Bishop, kemwa agobo kaitar PhD nengung atya ketindoi opportunities itebing US. Tos timwawech kidogo agobo those opportunities chekitindoi ing yu and why kilya siamwan ile lazima aweka? Karibu.
Kongoi Janet. Iman America ku mita haniman aku mita milik. Ku yawang Kenya, but agot Kenya ku mita hani ku mita milik. In fact, that is the new kuna mako ilimba kupugon. Kuchang hanine. Every time ya we digila Jumapili kanisa givo na hani jaba bishop. More hani in Kenya than I had in America. Of course, it's an analogy, but the truth is, to access it, you have to work very hard. America, if you don't work hard, I like the analogy of Mosoriat national cereals, and they compare America. Living per hour, but every minute of the 60 minutes counts. Kenya living per month. Out of 30 days or 26 days, weekends, out of those days, you may actually work even 16 days and get a salary. America. And when you check in, if you did not work, you have to explain. If you go to America, be prepared to work hard. Kenya people, me, I didn't know people play with the work and they don't. Now, have I lost where I was? Now, let me come to the question. Kitale sa mwana nyo Kenya after all the opportunities, after all there is honey and milk. Nepataigu the covenant I made with God. Angete Kenya windi America. Kya ko jike jishek taman. In fact, kya moja my bishop Bishop, ijomo le guide America. After these 9 months, I got new scholarship, never masters, I get doctorate, PhD. It's more 10 years. Within 10 years, I must come back home, whether I finished or not. So it was a covenant. I had to keep the commitment. I missed it by 1 year. I do that. Number 2, the hustling of going to study. You study until 3 a.m. and in the morning at 8, you are supposed to go to work. You will discuss in a bed, then you go and clean maybe the bank or something. You got to like when we got our baby in 2002. We came back 2003. So child care. You have to rush to the child care before you get the penalty. You get 1 minute, $1. If you get late for 15 minutes, $150, $15. So forth. So it was a big hassle. Another reason why I had to come home. Never that will not be hassling the way I was hassling. But never someone I had a passion. Never what I had experienced there. Applying all the experience and the knowledge I had acquired. Come and implement that in my ministry. So those 3 reasons were the motivation. We must go back home. Even though the bishop in Philadelphia was insisting, I have to go back home. I left my colleagues. They stayed there and served there. I left Uganda, Nigeria, but I came back home because of the commitment. The difference I wanted to come back.
Kongoi Bishop. So kokinye to Kenya ko nene, what did you do? Nene gini tao yai. Agi mawe janyu nile kiyai ne ago experiences chaguget chabo Kenya ko kay tar PhD o kay weka Kenya.
Kongoi Janet. Even maybe before I come back to Kenya, came me to Betonin because our interest to get or big and cowley. My wife and I founded an organization, Mwamba Foundation. Mwamba Foundation, you can Google and you can see it. In 2000, now we are about 4 years to 5 years of coming back to Kenya. Without that foundation, they call in scholarships to high school, Lago Bright, Lago disadvantaged families. So we have so far given scholarships to over 300. Kijenga sponsor in America. A student get from 1 or from 4 and pays $400, about 40,000. The others, the parish, the church here pays as part of the cost sharing. So we have some organization. It has a board in USA and a board in Kenya. So even now, as we talk, my wife also runs that on a part-time basis. We founded that. Now, Kenya. Kenya in 2000.
So am I way Bishop. So lako kata chegio toreteng this organization atcha komuch kora ngot komi chito nekasech ako maybe komeche koek a part of this and angotoret this foundation wanaweza kufikia aje akoba Mwamba Foundation.
Hello, yes, the website mwambafoundation.org. Yegamajeji is based in Philadelphia. Yegamajeji, they can send the money.
Ni abarueng you?
Yes, so yes, so we do other details to go address and email the out there, and you can be part of that. For $400, is sponsoring a girl or a boy. 75% are girls. Girls and farm, and then 25% boys. Most of them make it to university, so they end up getting the help to the state public universities. As we talk now, some have gone abroad to USA. There's a young man who just finished a pilot pilot in South Africa. He's now with the KDF. We meet medical doctors, we meet the nurses and others. These are kids, they had no opportunity to go through school. I like repeat standard 8 for 3 years. And you can see that's one of the ones shown on the screen. Is one of the young men who just finished the pilot, who was in Durban, Cape Town, South Africa, among others. So you give a website in your details. So you can still participate from wherever you are.
Kongoi Bishop or abarchini chongan bigalen gimeje yego involved ko imuji way taret. You can help in so many ways. Mele nile last my contributing the money, but you can also mentor these students. You can give them opportunities, but you can also give money. So sige much keichi peak chechang asoko much koichi Bishop lagok chechang. So these are the contacts. Gimeje email, telephone ko rono. Kongoi Bishop for that. Ako en kasi negiyay. So mawe ganyun kingyeweke Kenya kone negiyay. Ako
yes.
Karibu.
Kongoi Janet. You got Kenya, that was 2005 in August. We got mama now with a baby, with an American citizen born in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is where the capital city was. Not just the Constitution. Before it moved to Washington, D.C.
Congo Bishop, George Washington, the first White House Kotoma Tarnin, Ogimen Philadelphia, the president at time of America. Agomuat Kele Philadelphia, go the city of love, brotherlyhood, and sisterly affection.
Yes. 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 Maryland. So the first White House, first Congress, Philadelphia, Maryland. But yes, Philadelphia is 2 words. Greek. Philos is love, and Adelphos is brother. So brotherly love. But because of they needed to be inclusive, a city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. So, let me now talk. Philadelphia, New Kenya. New Kenya 2005 August. One bishop or Asaban provost the senior priest in charge of a cathedral and Kitale. So go to St. Luke's Cathedral. That time it was pro cathedral. We just opened it last month, by the way. Now a full cathedral. It be consecrated last month on 25th of April. So I served there 2005, away 2007. After that, I moved to be a principal in a seminary, Africa Theological Seminary, for 5 years, from 2008 by 2014. That is also in Kitale. That is a non-denominational ministry of ICM, International Christian Ministry. Maybe you know Reverend Dr. Mairori. He's the director of ICM, so some may be knowing. So he is the chancellor of that, the director of ICM. 2013, from 2008 to 2013. From 2014 to 2018, I went to Nairobi. I served as executive director, Never ACTEA, which stands for Association for Christian Theological Education in Africa. I was the first full-time director. They had offices in Zambia. Again, they were relocating to Nairobi. I became the first director. And as I had mentioned, alluded earlier, after I left, when I was elected the Bishop in 2018, Dr. Taurus, Rev.Dr. David Taurus.
Kongoi Bishop Kayarorwe chile kitao koi Reverend, just a Reverend, ate yegu right Reverend. No, all the way up to Right Reverend. Come, never seminary. So you became chaplain for that. Atewe acti, atenyo niegu, Right Reverend Bishop. Oh, that's incredible. It's a process. Ma simwa which Bishop ile, was this something negigegeri image yegu Bishop? And then how did you get there? And then ginyo chongan the opportunity. And what inspired you to take up the position? Agimetenin yani a very big position. Negimut in all over Africa, maybe even to the world. Achi werega Kitale, just a small sub-district in Western Kenya.
Okay. I think there are maybe three different incidents where I could see I did not take the best option, humanly speaking. Number one, Bishop Mube offered me to go abroad to America. As a young man, just finished Form 6, to go and to do business management. And I told him, no, I want to go to Bible college. I ended up in America. In 2005, the Bishop of Pennsylvania, and I was paid well. I was paid in dollars and a very good pay. The Episcopal Church pays very well. The medical coverage was very good. It was very good. But now, when I got to home, when I saw my terms of service, I did not believe it was a monetary salary when I converted to Kenya shillings. But I knew what I was getting my salary. So my salary actually was 10% of what I was earning in Philadelphia as a provost. So that is number one. And then number three is executive director. I was also paid in dollars. But now I was coming to be paid in Kenya shillings as a bishop. And it was more prestigious. I would travel to many countries, Nigeria, Cameroon, and then go to South Africa, Malawi, go abroad for conferences. It was a lot of travel. Prestigious as a way and so forth. Now, Bishop. I did not want to be a bishop. For a long time, I resisted.
Okay.
For a long time, I resisted it. I later on realized that the reason why I did not want to be a bishop is because I wanted to make a statement. Like not every priest becomes a bishop. And so, you can get as a provost, and I went to teach. My giftedness in ministry is teaching. I used to run a teaching ministry in the radio. Emmanual radio is based in Kitale for about 4 years. And so, I can initiate Bible college through the radio, going conferences, and all that. And so, there is a temptation always. I'm going to work with a bishop. And I just this is last month. did not want that. So I decided that I'm not going to be, and I did not feel that I needed to. When my bishop was about to retire, I started receiving delegations every week. A friend, I used to attend All Saints Cathedral in Nairobi. Although I was not attached, every weekend, almost every weekend. I was given 1 week to work from Kitale during when I was in acting, because my family was still in Kitale. So Kitale every commuting from Nairobi. So in the course of that time, as my bishop was approaching to retire, police bishop because they knew I did not want, including the provost of All Saints, a friend of mine. Bishop, kama Mungu amesema unawacha kukata. He kept telling me that. So one time, my wife confronted me. Did you not say you are accepting where God will lead you to serve? Why are you saying no? At one point, I thought, or maybe I'm saying I don't want to be bishop because the privileges of being a director of a parachurch organization like Igeere was very good, and the privilege that goes with that. But I knew it was not that. So what we decided, we gave ourselves 2 months. My wife, mama, is I get a very job and this issue of the bishop retiring. We prayed for 2 months and then we started to talk to each other. We agreed that God is saying, if God wants to call me, let me offer my name. And I'm going to name you. It's part of the process. I got a job, I will be the bishop, then I'll be elected. Well, the rest is history because I was elected unanimously. All the 23, the electoral college elected me. So that was it was very humbling experience. So I had to tell my director, my chairman was based in Addis Ababa, and the board that I have to leave. I've been elected the bishop in 2018 August. So I left actually officially in December 2018 to come and serve the diocese. So that was the thing. I think I was struggling with the idea that every priest must be a bishop, and a bishop is the best, the height of the ministry. And I was fighting that. No, I want to be the priest the rest of my life. And I was influenced by John Stott. John Stott was a great theologian, West in UK, an Anglican priest. He shot with bishop and just served as a priest and started a lot of even scholarship Africa theology, the John Stott Foundation. He was influenced me a lot. A reverend, and at the end, let others be bishops. That was not God's stake for me. And the election came. One for Emmanuel, I hope that doesn't undo my role as a bishop now. But I was not reading it.
I think it affirms kolegit ndai kurset au kikasho kokwen Jehovah kale kisip kogerin agisip konain angot yeimi. I like that song kolegish kishina agi mimi agi tomi moet ap Emmanuel. So God knows, and God I'm sure alikuwa amekuwekea all this roadmap kongetege kora otuye ak Bishop Muge akameje angen ale matinyin, but tos ne kokaiegu bishop ne, what did you learn from Bishop Muge? Amu ngapachame ane kibwati biik chechoket that have influence and contributed in history. Ne nekiinetke from Bishop Muge nekikotoretin nguno as a bishop, anan yeah, anan imwawech ki neki-inspiring about Bishop Muge anan ki ne tos ibwate Bishop Muge anan ne ikere ile suppose kobwate biikab Kalenjin Bishop Muge.
Yes, Bishop Muge uchi negi tergapsa in terms of giftedness. She negi ki onge goba poshenigap kanisa. Of course, all of us know that he gave his life for the sake of what he believed in. At the time when the government of Kenya leadership then was not willing to give space to the people, he fought for the rights of politicians, of the ordinary citizen. I learned from him to stand by the principles of a Christian leader and not to be swayed off by the compromise because of what the rest of the people are saying. Nevaengu, Bishop Mugagu, he resource mobilizer. He was very good at identifying what the community needs. I work with young resources to go to our community. Most of the properties to get in dozens of Kitale, dozens of Eldoret, and dozens of Sabit. Igeere Bishop was he was the bishop of the larger Eldoret diocese, which was covering up to Lodwa. Who he built a very good foundation. What am I learning from that? Let me also add value to the diocese. I leave the diocese better than I found, and build a firm foundation. From where I left to move on that. The Bishop Mugo Conference Center, which we are just building a 10 million shilling hostel, 27-room hostel, was bought by Bishop Mugo. Gyal 43 acres and Gibageng, or 12 kilometers at the town of Kitale. A week before you died in Busia, before you made that trip, just signed the agreement and paid with the 43 acres with a house in the the old heritage colonial house. That is where we have the conference center. So I'm building on this foundation, and I'm telling myself, what am I going to leave as a step for the next bishop, third bishop, fourth bishop, until the 20 bishops, seeing I've also met my part. So I will forever owe Bishop Muge a lot in terms of how he molded me. He never was my bishop when I was a priest. So only when I was a young man and I went to college, but he passed on when I was still in Bible college. But his impact is extremely great in my ministry and life.
Congo Bishop for sharing that. When you do something about community and then you will be remembered for many, many years to come. I go build the foundation and make an impact. So I'm watching let's all try. I'm gonna get gifted in various ways. I go mutai komaimi. So mutai ki buatenene anan mutai gogai, there is nothing to remember you with kogaiwe. So we are here as a passing wind, passing cloud. Like a lot we have to give back, and we also have to be influenced. Bishop Kole, it's not about titles. Mele ni lazima yegu bishop, and then mele ni lazima yegu president, or then mele ni lazima yegu governor, and then mele ni lazima yegu whatever. I don't know whatever title name is your profession, the highest ranking neighbor chingeji, but you can always make an impact. Agiegu agi make something about the world. So ako yotag ametisa koji Osea. So Osea balozi karibu si mwawejile tago subengo. And then tos nga nagakumangalyo tinye nga tebuti ko bik chito kasechi ko Osharan onge cherage tukul onginet ke ngalyo tukul. Karibu.
Kongoi nye Janet, kongoi nye Bishop. It's very touching when you speak about somebody who impacted your life, like Bishop Muge. I got to meet him. Kingo mi Maryland Bishop kogigituye ak Bishop Muge. Koganyo gityogagas kele mi jina ga mutu wanafunzi. Anyo Philadelphia koge mutu wanafunzi. Those students have done very well. Chegige mut ngoi gitin bike jang ago gi impactan ago gitin nago nota ne kweri no go tungu nang baisyonik cheya. And thank you so much for going back and honoring a great man that did wonderful and impacted your life in hostels jobe. May God bless you and continue to use you. Si ay tuguk chagararan ko agere ko to
gamwa something again balozi mo angena leng show ni kineti guys story kora picture chang, especially youngings je waje ko magingen gele gitasta ne 70s 80s. So Bishop Muge ko gijam ko wake ni ak Philomena Chelagat Mutai negi MP kora negi, she also fought for the rights rights ak tuguk chegi enjoy ni en betusheju, especially in Kenya. I know we can all speak our voice. That was not there oleginye. So thank God for Bishop Muge, thank God for Philomena. Ago Big chutakche, they gave their lives for us. So let's be grateful and let's honor them. Karibu.
Kongoi nye Janet, kongoi ako kararan komi biik nekimwachini biik kelechini yeimete ki leave a legacy ak imete something netun kibwotenen mewe situn kelen kityo kiwo chicho anan yewe kele kaikai kokwo. So kaikai ngiwo at least kemwa ke. Ko kongoi agere Denise Kiprono kosubet kobun Siongiroi. Kongoi Denise Joshua Boit komite kebebertab India ko kale Bishop kale bunu Kitale murenoni alakini mi India olin. He's a PhD student in communication akale soiwech amu korom ngalekab India kosubkei ak COVID ko kibwotin Joshua ko kakitach Joshua kokingete India akebwa Kitale. So his story was wonderful. Prudence chepkogei nemite kebebertab Italia kongoi ketepse inendet kokimwoe kongoi akobo inye Betty Jebet following akwek tugul Osea mongen ale tokosube ngo kamwa biik tutigin koi kesoe anan koi kakikonin boroindo isaibwat murenoni kilen Joshua nemite kebebertab India ae tuguk chekororon ako ikilegei murenoni ngolindo bunu Kitale ako he's so excited that kose chitab Kitale so kararan kou noto ko Osea mongen ale isuben ngo.
Kongoi balozi Bitarono, kongoi biik cheisubet eng kemboutab rani. Agere mi kora daktari notok Reverend David Kirwatarus kale I took over from Bishop and ACT is a wonderful man. May the Lord bless you, Bishop. Kongoi daktari David Kirwatarus ole mi kemboutab rani. Ko subi akine show, isube chini kwa chini Matret Cheptanui all the way from UAE, United Arab Emirates. Big to the United Arab Emirates, a big to go watching show in the Bobby to Tabran. And the baby wait to me. You have knowledge enough, Chang Big Palosi, it's a bit in game of Chang Big to our region. I would get it in big Jang in game about Tabran. You come with Bishop Safari, and you with Chan in the Bishop, Tagatoy, Olimbo, Ribu, Kuga, Boy, of America, Kagawe, me, image of Kenya. So kongoi bi maybe kemi gabe bertani YouTube yang nuli jana agora sa me joge no laikan o shian shoni ba bitu tabrani. So TV galak ingi shian ko kai ta juru no go galak o shian group ini kedang ige magele haje ibendang gajang aninyo ba bi kemunge din unge ba share social media in a positive way. Social media was a source of information, a source of correct the mood in the dambi kemuki go to yak bishop, like term when you're an opportunity. Kogasan go bishop ngang with the community of America, Oberasola. Bishop can give no reflection, no moon, Miga Bever, than the mate of America, like the mute with 3 a.m. Gab came up, Palos, we are mere I reflect on myself and a new job. Game on Australia is what the game away keep on arguing that is 30 years to go sirto kimyagje ni sheju to 21st century the same life the same experience the same aso so gitu atnya te butik dengeringen agere ga itin kedang
Osea kongoi Osea ko to mai tep tebutik ameja knowledge an Winnie Kulei ne isubet kongete kebebertab Nairobi kongoi Winnie ko mwanafunzi agenge nekimite Kenya High sinyo kolimbo kwa masters ngolimbo in Ghana kitinye kora Rhoda Dura komi kebebertab Pennsylvania abwati ale ingen Bishop Rhoda ko agenge nekimutu Bishop notok Muge ko kongoi Rhoda Ellen Cheruyot kongoi isubet kongete kebebertab Minnesota kale kongoi Bishop kale following ako kongoi boisiet neyoe ko kongoi ngakwek tugul jo subet taimwa ile isubet ngono ak imyono ak isharan kora biik alak ko Osea ngonyo kebeberta ngung sitep tebutikuk Osea.
Kongoi balozi Bitarono, kongoi engineer, kongoi kora Baba Askofu agoba kanetishet nekainetet in a very special way. Inetet through your life, through your channel. My first question agoba kenyorun itinye boisiet nekikoberurun kamuktaindet kebeberta olimbo Kitale. What vision do you have kerutikuk itinye agoba Diocese of Kitale? Karibu.
itestini notok bishop kokiker anan kokiker kaniset katit role agenge ne kokiuchi neo kabisa. Abwati ale you are also associated to that. Ko ne boisionik alake che iyoe beside kanisani ak nakemwoe nekobo hostels. Testai eng yotok, kongoi.
Yes. Kongoi balozi yako sea ba tebutiet na kokonu. Abwati le pichaisiek kyokere eng yo ku website. Is that a website?
This is some photos chekwanyoru on Google.
Abwa pichaisiek chebo website. With the website nenyo nebo diocese. Ne jam moko borwok vision nekitinye nebo diocese nebo Kitale. Kikwaya ku bishop 2018 August. Tiata kasi full time December. Amo kiata ngalekab the previous organization. Kupang ngalekab vision ku vision nenyo kikinde by God's grace kikitar strategic plan number 2019-2023. That is probably something I learned from Bishop Muga also. Bishop Muga yikinde kimita aitab generation nenyi. In 1987, he put up a 5-year strategic plan. In that strategic plan, he was to train and ordain 40 new clergy. Our ordination was the largest 1993 of 36 of us. And he looked for the resources for that. That class is now the Bishop of Kapsapet, Bishop of Eldoret, Bishop of Kitale, Provost of Eldoret, Kapsapet, Kitale, and Senior College. So in a way, every organization I'm going to work for, I always used the strategic planning tool for management. So Mitanoyo, lakini to summarize, for say the listeners, quickly reading and online. I believe the church must always live up to the purpose of God. For every generation, we should never lose the fact that the purpose of the church is to seek the lost and save them and bring them to maturity to look more like Christ. So when Christ comes, takes them away. So gina patay ne kyan the priority to like discipleship. Can also shake it down, especially in the West, America and Europe. And I think, I don't know whether Australia is affected, or say you probably will tell me this. But a lot of churches are affected when we do focus on maintenance, like our buildings, like our maintenance, and we forget outreach program to look for the lost that Jesus came to die. That take out what we can Magadanya programs to maturity, about letting them know their gifts and giving them opportunities to use their gifts and get them be involved in ministry in the church. So this is again. Nepa good nepo nalaga stewardship. Kenya who put ne tomo na bikyo nalaga giving. I served in a church, as I told you. In one of the churches, I was the rector, the priest in church for 1 year. Then somebody passed. And when he was, we were about to bury him, that is when I learned how Americans have supported the church. 75% of his wealth will go to St. Paul's Church, which is a church where I was serving just outside Kitale. And my Kenyan mentality might just be a few millions of money. Well, it was few millions in American dollars. At the end of the day, 2 weeks later, the church get transferred and the lawyer $3.2 million to St. Paul's Church. And the remaining 25%, but nephew nanyi, amu gitomo go to this chichi, I go to your lago. He never married. So 25%, $1 million went to his nephew. The church got 320 million Kenya shillings. It opened my eyes. And I big in Kenya, including leaders like us. We depended so much on the West, like resources, to the point where we forgot that the richest Kenyans are not in America. The richest Kenyans are not in Australia. The richest Kenyans are not in Dubai. They are in Kenya. They live in Nairobi, Eldoret, Kitale, Kisumu, and the villages. So under Ginda program, the stewardship program, the resources they have is not 100% for their kids. They can also give to charity organizations like Mamba Foundation, like Dances of Kitale, scholarship program. They can give a scholarship to their high school as an alumni association and others. So that is what we are prioritizing on stewardship. That year, we add value on the programs, projects, the Bishop Muka Conference Center. I had sent some photos for that also, so that we make it income generating. Resources. That is a Bishop Muga Conference Center. But not together with the 43 acres. So we are putting up a new building, 24-room capacity, will give us accommodation of 50 accommodations. So we want to make Bishop Muga very viable, expanded accommodation, but also farming, like agribusiness, like fish farming. So we are working with partnership with county government. They can build us a dam. We can do fish farming. Those are cottages. So to Balosi, you have a place. Those cottages can be yours to stay, and then we do jamachoma. And all that from the indigenous trees that we use for the Murusik. Yes, so the conference, that is the conference facility. So you want to add value to that. We have not raised all the money. Around 7 million. We trust God to give us the other 3 million as we move on. So it will get that project. The other vision is microfinance. You're doing like the conference. Microfinance. Last year in September, microfinance or SACCO, diocese. You can Bishop. A lot of dioceses in Central. Tinjagila diocese SACCO. Ne yegamaje a Christian kunyor a credit loan agne the easy access, low interest rates, and does not require a title deed among other things. So we launched it last year in September. Igeere Financial Services. You go our website in your that Igeere Financial Services to give details. So this is for our Christians, and we trust God that when they put up groups of 15 people, trust groups, then they can be able to be guarantors for the loans for the members. And Kenya, they are very good with this. Their SACCOs run into billions in Kenya shares. We believe that we have started the road, and in the next few years, our people will come for loans. And finally, diaspora, which I think will apply to many outside Kenya. Diocese of Kitale Diaspora program, the USA. Reverend Philip Sang Gagimita Tugul, who chairman of diaspora of Kitale Diocese and USA. As I speak now, they have invested a lot of money. They sent us the first half a million last year to finish. We have a restaurant near our office, and they are sending us 1 million this year, among others. For example, that is resource. Like in Yogumajugragetas, and like a diaspora, Kenya, America. We tie them to our members, the diaspora, so that they can be mentored. Luckily, they come there, they lose the vision and focus or the harsh realities in the US, take them away from the focus. So good to mentor and guide them until they finish their schooling, or they are just coming to work, they got a green card and they want to come and live there. We connect them there. We don't have America chapter, we have Nairobi chapter. The Nairobi chapter also have been raising resources. Like in the Lago Kyomi, Nairobi. My daughter, who was born in Philadelphia, is in college in Nairobi, Strathmore University. So she has now been tied to, because she's doing law, to a lawyer in Nairobi who is a member of our diocese, so that they can mentor them. The one who is doing engineering can be tied to one in engineering, among others, so that they can guide them in career and also how to focus on their studies, in addition to linking them to the church in Nairobi. Kemudian those chapters ke atas, walaga Mombasa, I would see the new, saya see the. So we want to move on to Australia and so forth, so that we encourage that. The third component for diaspora, we have investment. Bishop, what made you be able to go? One of the other things that I did not want to say, but I have to say now that I'm here. I was able to come because I meet America, I like I'm hustling. We never bought a house, we never we invested it back, starting Eldoret, Kitale, and then later on that built others. Like real estate. Kongoy Palos have been hearing about Rt.Rev.Dr and others. Amaja ang all the diaspora members. America, Europe, Middle East is not normally the best place to retire because of the cost of retiring. But if you choose to retire, you must invest heavily in retirement schemes. But the best retirement option and investment, real estate in Kenya or any other either stocks or so forth. Kumajatun ye got established in Alaga diaspora. Kugamajala when Karajan, all our people are out there and assist them, guide them on how to invest back home. Because those investments are going to change. Yeah, for example, Balozi starts a company in Kamobo. It is likely to hire 5 or 10 people. It will change lives in addition to him making the money. So, through diaspora system, can encourage a picture who invest in our church, in programs to improve that and transform our communities, our villages where we came from. Wherever we are, we can still make a difference. For our own investment, for beyond our work to retire, Akura, get our small-scale businesses, which can be able to establish employment for young people and be able to transform them back at home.
Kongoi, Baba. Skofo Kongoi, I was looking in detail response. In fact, I'm going to take care. I suppose I have to go. I will to go. I'm going to table boy. Tanu, I will wait. I wait for a mood corrigation and a mood can you in the big. Not only in US, I'm going to be case to be Australia. Members to Anglican in Gabriel to the Badalite, the New Melbourne, the New Limber. Sydney, Australia, Ogaingalaji, Hagoga, Uchumbe, never be to Tabrani, Gongwe, Baba Scofu, and they would tell
Ose, si tesetai te bucheno, Amejagora Bishop City Teschi Ongena Lagai Mwamba Foundation. Imujugomi Janet, Imujugomi Osea, Apijugose Jutogulju. Agogongo yamu gitau engabeberta neva America diaspora reach out ne toreti boisionik nagaga scale mara onegi sogorogu restaurant ne mitei kebeberta Kitale so gibwane December kumejenge amishen nyota atyagebe gora in hostel sugemwa kumejege amarte nyundo agemeje kumnyat atyagebe anyun mondial gon ko ameje te iteschi ngoliot niton meje watebo se agiteschi negobo Mwamba Foundation nagelen toreti lagok singot komi ji negoseje komuji kwadaptana nan ko sponsor lakwet agenge kotestai eng somanet amu kager ko negit ko very successful ing lagojo kikoek pilots lagojo kakonyo kobalo chekanyo komanda amu atkangora Bishop ngap komeje koui ing biikab diaspora to reach out to to support. They want to support but they don't know how. Ko komeje site testing nyutok ne Mwamba Foundation tukyo iye so testai ose asoko testinoto.
Kongoi balosi bitaruno. In fact, angot balosi, we are reading psychology na nyuga ameje got the same question. Negata wendi atebe bishop ko na tagaitebe gigaji opportunity iko war. Karibu askofu. Karibu.
We are talking about Chang Artun Makemut Kudorak the Bigan Gowdy. Like in a side, I got me, my good night in Canada. Kilato Satorak Biglan. And what that does is it limits the options to say that maybe family with you. Mamba Foundation, one of those opportunities. Pikajang getting a sponsor, gaming who reach about non-Kenyans, although we have a few Kenyans. One Kenyan is a board member. Like in the Juna Lakuba, by America, and the sponsors are Australia America. I want to encourage the Kenyans who are out there to make a difference. And the tag by using organizations like Mwamba has been there 20 years. This is our 21st year. Angan Guragala, there's also the part where you may not know who you are trying to support. And then they disappear. It never gets to the ground. I think we could help also as a diocese. You can send me an email through our website. You can me another opportunity that is even beyond. It doesn't have to be within our diocese or the Mwamba or what. If you have a passion in a particular area, we can connect you. Meet children homes. Yeah, we know they are here on the ground, they are serving, they are doing what. Another opportunity, we have a ministry in Igeere, community-based rehabilitation. Access to our website, I don't know what happened. But Kitale ministry about community-based rehabilitation, good CBR. It has been in existence. Kitale Bishop Muge. It is in Eldoret Diocese, Kapsapeta, Kitale. Nejam who should be buying wheelchairs for the disabled. Disabled, or they were involved in accidents and just diseases. Somebody can buy a wheelchair for 35,000, 40,000. The automatic ones can be more 70 or 80,000. All that we will post that. We have not posted it in our website. Me ministry so I'm going to encourage diaspora. Do not be afraid. Your email like bishop. What are the ministries that are out there? And then we can be able to assist you. Say, I want to be involved in helping with the rehabilitation, or a hospital, a mission hospital, or depending on your passion. Challenge Peter, Rono, Akosea, Janet. Maybe I can offer myself to work with you, where we can link up opportunities for ministry. The ministry like AIC, like Igeere. In fact, we community-based rehabilitation, we work with the Igeere Mission Hospital. Jabka revals, Mila will get split lips. They go for surgery in Igeere. And other people may want to get involved in that. So we can do and get your database, a database number diaspora where they can see. If you want to help with children homes, these are the ones we have kind of approved and certified. They get measured or like mission hospitals, they get measured or like scholarship, all that kind of thing. So that the people can go to one point. What are the categories of help that I can assist people in the community? That might help the diaspora out there. I am offering myself for that and offering the challenge.
Kongoi Bishop, Kongoi for offering yourself, because the biggest problem is not people wanting, people helping. The biggest problem, Awugitebe diaspora for a long time, or Michang who are following us and they are listening. Ogero Roda Nugale, Kateb Nuroda Gole Mwamba in support young people through, you can support young people through Mwamba, which is yes, our tep colleague expand on dono. Ogera Arabor Daktari, Nagale Nyone from Busiago in the Eldoret. Akpi jotogolju, akpi kemi diaspora ime. The biggest problem, Bishop, kumelengele mameje ko supporten diaspora, meje ko supporten ipkoe kityo. Ngap ki mas tuguk koba yani ngete chito kole ngokale kuyo kemwa kokale ameje ketech kot ko nekotop keteche kot ipkecho barabaret kotun kanyo chichi nyokokere kot komaker barabaret nyekelechi by the way kingete kelen ketech kot keker kele mami barabaret kole chito but I wanted a house. So ngap ki mas tuguk kwai tuguk alak chekamako chotok anan akot komait tukyotok. So the biggest problem is people want to help but you know kikochanga biik chemabo iman ko kongoi amu kaikonugei kongoi amu mite website chotugul ako yewe kunotok kotyokokse biik chok akoker kole kanya keyai somutai ngechunu nyekekere tuguk chekokakisupporten ko osea mongen kokateitinye tebut kotomo keweke asateschi ng'olyo nekameche ateschi osea.
Kongoi Balozi Bitarono agere kakowal tebutik kabisa detail tebutik tugul chekatikomi pipeline kokakokosien Bishop ako na nebo aba nekanetege anan ng'olyo nekakwo barak kabisa Balozi konatak kakokonech kowelkamanech achek keiku bridge ikonektan ane ami kebeberwek Australia kebeberwek emetab Australia tugul kotkomi anything kotkomi chi nekase neisubi kokakokongei Bishop support mesich wasiwasi angimeche itinye passion anan calling imeche isupporten olimbo mashinani kongoi Bishop that nini kit kityo nameche tamwa Balozi anan kotateshi ko ng'olyondona kamwa ng'olyondona bo Mwamba Foundation kihappen coincidental kitun kesoman aka students nekikure Masai neki one of beneficiaries nekibo this foundation so so sharp ako kitinye challenge Masai ko kimakokase lakini kishap kia leading footballer kibire volleyball ako kikisoman kegraduaten tugul pamoja so asante sana on my own behalf as behalf biik chekikisomani tugul ako kitiru product anan nini nekibo Mwamba Foundation lakini kitun kelusen in touch ak Masai so kikotoret biik chechang Balozi
Mutyo sea kainet nebo tai kumo kainet nebo Masai nebo tai kumo kebwati
kikure Edward Masai
Edwin
Masai
Edward and
Edwin
kisukulu ne Edwin so he was a deaf student.
Yes
Edwin Masai ago kisukulu ne
kikisomani kikimi St. Paul's
St. Paul's Kapsabet.
Yes.
Oh, he's a priest now.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Priest.
Congratulations.
He's a priest at the cathedral here, St. Luke's. Edwin is a priest here now. He's running our deaf ministry. That's another opportunity for ministry, deaf ministry at the cathedral. And then we have, in fact, we didn't realize, we talked about deaf ministry about 8 years ago. Later on, we learned the church had not reached them. Maybe Kiebona Gungeta Moisbech, Kiebunu Kapanguria, Kiebunu up to Kamukuya, near Webuya, again the best. Because Matanyakan so shake, they can have sign language. So there are people, we can't reach them. So now we are expanding in that. So Edwin Masai is in charge of deaf ministry in the diocese. Congrats for sharing.
Congrats, I'm happy for that. At least Edwin Masai, we have very good footballer, Balozi. I'm going to go na mimbiri at Masai ngweligine okay gasi kongo gara hak paishena ministry go it's a big chegase so ameda de kongo bija tangawe Balozi.
Kongoi nye osea go Bishop agere kasir Dr. Tarusik nyo kale Bishop changed my life kale kyanyorun 2010 kale tun nyanyorun kokeny interview ni ako nyor kasit notok itinye sitestai so kale mangen kamwa tuguk cheechen kabisa nyo kale ngotesun Jehova akoribin amu kiitiny sobondanyi Ago he will always, you are his mentor. So kongoi amu kigere biik cheu choto che nyokokonu baornatet ak komwa ng'olyo ne kararan. Ko Bishop kai tiny ng'alechu tugul chu kaimwa ng'alechu kororonen kasie ichamban okot tekan ngolini bimwoiwech ile itinye family ko kongoi amu cham ketebe kele mwaat kele behind or no beside makelen okot behind, beside every successful man there is a wonderful lady. So mi first lady. Kemwa kityo cheptong'ung no ne kyosikyi America. So kimeche king kakenai kele inye family mwoiwech kitegen akobo family neng'ung Bishop amu kaichamban tekan already kongoi kakenai kunotok ako abwoti ale kasech first lady kimeche kelechin kongoi eng support nekikokonin inye siyai tukchu tugul chu yoe chu. Ko testai Bishop.
Wakat nye Janet ngalyo.
Ka comment nekameche amwa ko ka eng vision nengung ak tuguk chakiyai ko kaker kora ngayegu economist nikichomie what you wanted to be actually. Amu kaker ng'alecha tugul ko tinyegei ak ng'alekab making money, building wealth, ng'alekab it's not just giving back, it's also about finding ways of making money for the church. Simaek only the diocesaans and the followers chokonu chepkondok. So I just wanted to applaud you on that. Ako sige testai kibwoti in those ways actually, and congratulations for God has a way of just realigning you in what you want. So that's incredible.
Janet. It is very interesting how you tied that together. The more I serve, the more I realize I'm a resource centered person. I always ask myself, could this resource be mobilized for the better? So the economics I did not go to economics university, but Kaya school with you, and I think it is following me up. So going for that comment. Now, ngalaga the lady behind or in front of me, but the right one is actually besides me. Is on the left side, although you are not seeing her. Dorcas Chepto is a lady from West Pokot. As I told you, I met her in 1989 briefly when I only went there for 6 months. Bishop Muga thought he was sending me to be an evangelist. He was also sending me to trace the lady who will become my wife. We got married, and she, in 1996, in December 21st, we will be celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary. The honeymoon was 5 years. Then we gave birth to Subira, stayed in the US for 3 years, then we came back in 2005 together. When I was studying, Kimi and the hustling, so that she would be able to provide. Although she got an associate degree from Camden County College in New Jersey, which is across the river. Uganda, Kenya, now it was my time, and to support her to get the degree she never got. So she got a bachelor's and then the master's in human resource. So she teaches part-time at Jomo Kenyatta International University here at the campus in Kitale. She's also found herself a politician. From 2013 to 2017, he nominated MCA in Trans Nzoia County to represent minorities because of her work with the Mwamba Foundation. So we are nominated MCA for 5 years, assisting with minorities and also coming from the Pokot community, a minority group in Trans Nzoia. After that, she just runs the Mwamba Foundation. But I cannot talk about my successes without giving due credit to Mama Dorcas. She's the one who has encouraged me when I feel so low. She's the one who made me believe that I can be a bishop when I didn't think that I was meant to be a bishop. And she is the one who sacrificed a lot for me to finish my degrees fast, and then she will do her SNEP. So she did not come with a bachelor's from the US, but she came here and did a bachelor's and master's. So she accepted to sacrifice so that I could be able to do that. She's a very loving woman to me and to the community, very passionate about disadvantage. And I only wish I could be able to bring her here. I did not know she was supposed to be here. Now I think she will probably come on her own to the next episode. But she's been the person who has stood beside me, walked alongside me, encouraged me when I was very low, encouraged me that this is the way to go, and affirmed many of my callings first before even others to be able to do that. She's a prayerful woman, very good intercessor. So when I'm feeling so low and I'm facing a lot of challenges in the and then I feel good when I go home at the end of the day and she's there to say it will be well.
Bishop Tomai Moiwit, do you only have Subira or there are other kids?
Yes, I missed the kids. Kitinya Lago Gangman, our firstborn is not Subira.
Oh.
It's firstborn by birth. But Kigabwa, Kenya, we adopted a daughter who is now 21 years old. She just started working last week in Eldoret. She's a cosmetologist. So she does beauty for women and all that. We got it last week in Eldoret. Our Subira is our second-born now, our second child, but she's first-born by birth. She's at Strathmore University doing law, just finishing her first year now. God willing, when she finishes her first degree and goes to School of Law, becomes an advocate, she will come to America, maybe Silicon Valley, or other places, Philadelphia or Columbus, we never know. So she will choose whether she wants to stay in Kenya and work in Kenya or relocate to the US. And then we have two last-borns, twin boys. I always say when our beautiful daughter was born in Philadelphia, I asked God, give me one of my own kind. And God gave in that proportion. Gave us twin boys that are identical. So identical that sometimes we don't say a name if you are talking to one, because you may be talking to the wrong person. So identical. And I want to believe they look like me. So they are in Form 1 in Kapsabet boys. So that is my family of 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys.
Kongoi, Bishop, Kongoi. God bless them, especially the Neva America, Nuno, Negatiomelian, the Yangoliona, Konyo, Naga, Ko Amuba, Gigisakin Gorone, Konyo Naga. We wish you well. Thank you, Tagimotu, Fast Lady, Konyo, because Kagir Kutin story Nani, Koya Mega separately. So we'll do that going forward. The movement what she's doing. Kogongoi enge Mwamba Foundation nota teleljino goni tisienoi ko to magebe nyu no se amonge no le to kusubet ngo sinyege wege getep tebutik negit sege let ne bote tutje tabrani ko osea.
Atinye swali agenge Bishop agoba family. I don't know if you can talk about this, Bishop, but kemwa ile kyo ai kokumach kogoromit ngalekap relationships, especially nowadays. So what advice do you give to young people who are looking ago Kyogen about 8 years? I guess that was your courtship. So I guess just talk briefly about that. I'm just curious and interested in what you would tell young people.
Yeah, young as Inosea and Janet, and of course so many others who are following. So that's time.
Yes, to all our followers, a man of value who will be your husband, Janet, and all the young girls listen. And a woman of value to Osea and all the other women, men who are listening. is one who is principled enough to not compromise their values. We live in a society where we have been made to believe that you have to demonstrate love by giving yourself to the other person, sacrificing your values, Christian values, and sacrificing your passion in life. I believe that is the wrong way to look at it. If somebody loves you well enough, they would be able to wait for you to accomplish that which you need to accomplish. Or if you marry, then you would be able to be a partner in making you fulfill that objective or goal in your life. We also live in a society where marriage is become a dangerous institution rather than a beautiful institution. In our days, you looked forward to marriage. You looked forward to go and introduce your fiancé to your family. These days, it doesn't. The society says, come and we test first. In the process, you test 3, 4, 5 living together, and they walk away until you actually damage your view of marriage. Christian values will be the primary. Make sure that the person you want to engage in a relationship shares the same Christian values like you. Their view of sex before marriage, or even the sex in marriage, will be the right one and the godly one. Their view about their marriage is to empower each other. That the more I empower my wife, the more I empower our marriage. Rather than she's coming into the marriage, he's coming into the marriage to help me fulfill my purpose, rather than helping each other. The aspect of interdependence. So, Janet, Hosea, and all the young people watching, actually you will be respected more, and you will be of a marriageable status. You will be qualified for marriage when you don't compromise. No man of his value and no man of his value would want to marry someone who will just go with the current, because it will be dangerous in the marriage itself. So even though it is the society now does not accept that, but it is the best way to do it. And you get the right man and the right woman in the right place. Most cases in the church. I found Dorcas in church. I found her in conferences for Christian youth, Anglican youth organization. I met her when she was in church. We continued to meet when we were in conferences and build each other towards that. That will be the foundation of the values that you need. That will help you beyond the relationship, premarital relationship, and even during marriage itself. If we are not agreeing and aligning, our values are not aligning together, it will be a time bomb waiting to explode at some point. Then you talk of divorces or separations or that kind of thing. So let your values be together, respect each other, honor each other, enter into marriage as a place to empower the other first. And the more you give to the other, the human beings are reciprocal. They will pay back for a favor. You cannot tell somebody I love you and they tell you I hate you. Very unlikely. They will return back by the same token of love and generosity.
Kongoi nye Bishop ngalejo ko toma keweka mwagere kasarta kokakwa Cleophas Kigen ne isubech kale following ako kale ye mangen ale kale isubech kobun ano ko kongoi Cleophas Kigen ak akwek tugul che osubech Hosea mangen ale to osubech ngo sikeweke nyeketepse Bishop ing yo ng'olyo nebo let ing yo ko mwaiwech ile isubech ngo Hosea.
Kongoi Carlos Bitarono. Cleophas Kigen ko boyot nebo kebebertanib emetab Adelaide, South Australia, principal nebo Swahili School eng emet nebo Australia. Kongoi Arap Kigen wherever you are. Ak biik tugul cheisubech eng kemboutab rani. Chang biik chekaketiny eng betutab rani anan chekawiti ujumbe nebo askofu nebo Diocese of Kitale. Kong'alalwech biik chebo emetab Australia. Chang biik chetukoshioni chetosom biik amu makoi kimwa biik tugul eng kemboutab rani. Kiwekwa kongoi biik tugul chekowachen anan chosubisho nebo betutab rani. Kechome kityo laikan oshean show sikosikyi kotiketyi biik akot ketach biik alak akot kibwotwo kityo ngemboutab rani akobo kampunit ne inegei nemi kebebertab Nairobi. Kakong'alale Bishop akobo ng'alekab investment, kakong'alale akobo kale ngimeche iyositu anan iyetu eng emotinwekab sang ichop kwenik chechang kabisa cheribin mutai kayetu. Lakini ko kounoto ko ngimeche iweke olimbo mashinani icheng kampunit neu Rt.Rev. Mutai kocheng'un ki nebo useeni simutai kakokwer 60-70 years imi kipindi cha lala salama komenyalil cheng kampunit nebo Rt.Rev. ako makosirgei ak tilyanutik eng olimbo mashinani singiwe kekonyitin anan okonyitigei akototochegei tumwek. So kampunitab Rt.Rev. is the way to go. Kobun kebeberta nebo Nairobi neboisie neo na eng olimbo Kitengele akwai kora chakire corporate social responsibility netoreti giving back to the community. Kongoi Rt.Rev. ak biik alak tugul chetomeche koto sponsor show chechok ko otokotin sonyorwech. Karibu balozi.
Kongoi nye Hosea ak akwek tugul cheosubet. Kotomo nyekeweke kemwa ng'alek chebo let Bishop. Komi tebutiet nekanekit kakichelel eng yu amu kaketestai ng'alechu tugul, kaimwoiwech tuguk chekororon, kaimwa tukchu tugul chekaikonech akobo family. Kakisub bandang'ung among'u ale kaicher ake chi nekemi yo ngoti kainai ko ngoi pastayat nemining ko kairo ile ngeba ko lazima ikus kong ak iker ile ietitoi ano si moving forward. Ako kararan kora ke-empowergei itesetai meku comfortable eng yeimi kityo ibitebi biosipchi yoto situn ndakinyoru kele kimi yo kekas kito nekacham Bishop ko nekemwa ile king'yotoi kwondong'ung amu kioboryekei korok inye. Lakini ng'yeit olin kotestai te promise kora nekinye ile amu kitomo kotar sukul ko keai kasi inye kwo sukul. Kotko nguno kakonyo masters abwoti ale eng betusiek chemi tai yo kotokotesetai kora koit level no imi kodokas ngot ikose ko kimaku nemie itestai kora kotko tun nyeke celebrate ngele Dr. inye eng tai yun. Ko kongoi akobo notok. Kameche kityo ateschi Bishop mi ng'olyo eng yu mising ko netinye neranik amu walaksei, there is changing dynamics che walaksei en dunia. Ne neyoe anan neoe en Diocese of Kitale simakilusen bichu mengechen amu ingele ngetebisa ngolin ako tienwogik korok ichekei, leave alone anything. Tienwogik chu kitien eng kanisa ko ngap ko kisubi sine doctrines chebo kanisa tukyo tugul, lakini kowalaksei emet. Nguno keng'olole digital, kimi nguno chu kimuchi kebe Zoom, kokeba keker kanisa keba Zoom ak tukchu tugul. Ne neoe asimakilusen bichu mengechen amu kingap koit ng'atutik chekoromen meche kochop sumek Janet, meche kolach fileni Janet kole amu tokoamining ko ondolochi jeans komami ng'olyo. Ko ngolimbo kanisa kelen acha ngotinyo ak jeans komainyone kanisa pkoker kole ngatepchigei ane ara katokone. Anan inyokwo kaniset age nemitei Eldoret yo nekole come the way you are. So ne cheoe asimakilusen neranichu eng kanisa ngot komi or age neoe. Ako ameche iteschi ng'olyo eng pastors chuto komengechen kaimwa ile osupporteni ko ilyon asikobit kotestai sikenyoru kora pastors who are educated ako kotestai ng'olyot kokimekitu. Bishop.
Kongoi balozi amu tebut noto bo neranik ak ngal chebo tisik. Let me start with the youth. Ingen nenyi every generation nabo church leaders kunyoru new challenges, new emerging challenges. Nenyo nebo kenyisheju, this generation nenyo ko ngalek chebo internet chebo Silicon Valley and the advancement in telecommunication industry. Ane kanre isujani aganere, the only person who had a telephone line was one Muse who was 5 kilometers away, and he was a government official. Guni, my young boys at age 15, 14, when they are home, they access internet faster than I do. one of the twin boys, knows about my smartphone more than I do, and he helps me to access all that. So information age, every church leader must rise up to understand how our young people access information, how they use that information or knowledge to create their worldview about themselves and others. To be able to learn how they are learning about the world, about themselves, and so forth. So we should not shy away from embracing the technology and understanding who they are. In a positive way, technology has really helped us. Right now, you can access and know about the Diocese of Kitale through the website, through the Facebook, through so forth. During the Corona, we were preaching every Sunday, and we were going places, and the people could send me messages from outside the country. Well, Bishop, thank you for the message. So it is also helping us as a church. These days, the new cathedral we have just consecrated has screens, and the services are broadcast, and we can put it on Facebook Live for anybody to be part of the way we did it on the consecration day. It is positive and negative. The point is, how do we engage that? Now, Naranaju, they are living in that kind of environment. They will learn fashion faster than Janet will learn a fashion of California, who is learned by the Janet who is in Silicon, and the young boy, a young girl who is in Chemoga village in Mount Elgon, with no tarmac, with no just in the village because of the technology. This is a global village where values that are being created in Europe are shared and can be embraced or learned very quickly. So, Majaganisa Youth Ministry, Kitinye forums, not everything you receive, not everything you hear about a celebrity and what a celebrity has done, you have to adopt their lifestyle and their values in life. The sooner we do that, the better for us not to lose this generation. The more we fight them, the more we lose, because they are still getting the information. Like gay or homosexuality, which is now been legalized in California, in Australia, in Europe, and in Canada, and all the places. You cannot shy away from that. You have to face it and say why homosexuality is not God's ordained purpose for marriage institution or family. So we don't have to deny it. You don't have to run away from it. You have to face it and know that they know everything. They know about sex earlier than the rest of us know about sex. They can just watch a pornographic clip and they know, remember, this is what sex looks like. Those days, you even seeing a woman who is naked up here was enough to run away, but they can face that. So how would you then accept that reality of our time and then help them with skills to be able to discern the right from the wrong and choose the right? Because if they choose the wrong, it will destroy their lives. Like counseling, guidance, mentoring in a very intentional way. In our diocese, kitinye a program VUCA program. VUCA for the word Ruka, VUCA. Standard 8, we bring them for the boys with the circumcision, and then the 3 weeks they are healing. We try to teach them that they are going to another phase of life where they come to terms with their hormones. They are now becoming mature. And then from 4, we also have VUCA to adult. So for standard 8 is VUCA to teens program, and then VUCA to adult. So they prepare to leave home with the safety of the boarding schools, safety of the home. Now they are going to university. They are going out to Australia. They are going out to study in Spain. We build skills for them to manage the new independence that they have. That, for me, is the best way to accept the reality of what they, that they'll get a lot of information. A lot of information may be harmful to them. How do they manage the information, distill the right from the wrong, and build value-driven character in them that they will endure beyond, because they will access the internet and information on the internet without anybody being there. How are they going to manage that and not destroy them? One ngalek drugs, one ngalek alcoholism and shortcuts to getting money, among other things. They will be caught up in that. We don't intervene early to give them skills to overcome that. Ngalek pastors. For the pastor now, I have alluded to that. You are in a society that is ever changing. The first thing you do is to read. Read and read every day, because there are always new things that are coming. There are more new things that are coming before you figure out what the previous one was. Before you get used to Facebook, there is Instagram, then there is a Zoom coming, among other things. The world, thanks to Janet and the Silicon people for driving us this fast. So the sooner you adapt to the new realities, the better. For the pastor, how would you engage those realities to help people face those challenges, but also leverage in your ministry to make it a better ministry to those people? Facebook, online, YouTube, all those will help us even preach the gospel. But unfortunately, not many of us are using it because we are not improving our skills to catch up with that. So we can use it for the good, help those who are facing the challenges of that technology to also know how to deal and manage it well, to make them productive rather than destructive.
Kongoi nye Bishop eng waluna nage walu tebuti ja ko kongoi nga kwek tokol jiga subech eng takwek cheterchin kimejage mwa kongoi nga kwek tokol jiga subech kongoi jiga o laikan kimejage testa o laikan de gibwatwa ko ba Activen ye meje yai investment ngolimbaga ngololji kibagenge ine. Visiten website notok po Kitale Diocese asinochige tuguk chemi ak imuchi ikochi toretet diocese nebo Kitale mite kikotoi ngolep diaspora ko siketiem kecheng nambarishek chotok tugul ak iro kele kimuchi keyai ne. Ko keweksei ing let yu ko mongen ameche siketarate tetutiet nebo betutab rani ko ameche kenyoru icheket chuto chu panelist chukami yu komwa ng'olyo sinyekeweke kekonin boroindo Bishop imwa ng'alekuk chebo let ko osea mongen ngot itinye tokosubet ng'o anan yekitesetai kuni sikobit anyo ataune Janet atya anyo osea atya kesom Bishop komwa ng'alekchik chebo let akesom kokerwech eng saet amu kakitaune saet eng nyo. Ko osea.
Kongoi balozi Pitarono, kongoi kike subech hangebeberwek agere subech yonotok. Pastor Joel Kimeta, following the Lord bless the program to reach our community. I agree with the bishop to be a good leader, you need to be a good reader. Kongoi, Pastor Joel Kimeta, all the way from Kericho, inendet kora nekikonech tiendo nyi nekiboisie eng saisiek tugul, ako inendet kora ko kikonech team nebo Igeere ne Chitab Kalenjin ko kikidrowenech tiendo nebo Pastor Joel Kimeta. Kongoi ngoberurin kamuktaindet ngole imi amu turu tiendong'ung ko kikeiti biik chechang kabisa. Mama Mary Targok all the way from Olimba Wayo isubech kongoi eng kemboutab rani ak biik chechang angot Kiliovas Kigen all the way nekakotachin akolecho uye ikatua Bishop akotochin inendet on behalf is a leader nebo Kenyan community eng kebeberta nebo Adelaide South Australia ale oye mutai kolechigei emoni itai Bishop konyoni kokat followers anan members chemi kebeberet emetab Australia koitagat on behalf of Kenyan community. Kongoi kiken balozi chang biik chetikosube chang biik chekokeityi eng kemboutab rani. On my personal behalf aleja Baba Askofu kongoi koinyosho ninya in a very short notice. Chang biik chekoityi eng kemboutab rani chang ngalek chekiyai angot personally ko coincidence St. Paul's ole ki board member nekibo St. Paul's who are student in St. Paul's and later on I joined St. Paul's University. So kinginyo ingalalwech ko kicham ko the same thing nake pa ngalekab somanet, ngalekab investment ko kicham imwawech. So I finished St. Paul's aga proceed in somanet. I St. Paul's University kidogo kineta ngodnani Bishop currently Bishop Wandera. He used to be my lecturer in missiology. St. Paul's Sigatwa wherever he is. So I'm young nigga we met up Australia. He was a young ministry. Agebarega somanet aga solit kai nigemoy nigibari gemet ab America. So amagun gaga tukule me hitesatai amejagi chosige tiam kelingenak Anglican members chebunu kebeberek bo emetab Australia kini kotoreti mungu kokonech a platform kora neune kora sikelingen biik kora nekemwoe keboisie social media in a positive way. So kemi ak kijana baba askofu ngobir kona itu kobwa social media kemi yuto kora sikechereke ati sikemoving forward. So kongoi kimakungi age tugul nemi tun kakiweke gaa kebwa olimbo emetab Kenya nikeitu nyikeborian boisionik cho kotikemwochi kora members angomeche ko supporten the ministry go through inendet kotestai huduma ikatwa biik tugul chebo kebebertab Kitale akakokeses olimbo Tulwa Mwitu Moi University.
Kongoi nye Osea Kimagun chemnyach ngolemi ko Bishop moinide ni father inai so ga inai leitinye an Anglican person right here so ga spanda nyolebunu ko kimeche kebe kora so abwati ale kimeche kebe ko kebebertab Australia in Australia nan ga olimbo Silicon Valley ole kinyoru inendet engineer notok Janet Chepkogei sorry sikobit komwoiwech akine komwa ng'olyo nemeche kotesyin yo ko Janet neng'ung boroindo.
Kongoi balozi eng betuni alenjini kityo Bishop, thank you so much. Kongoi kabisa kachera gat. Now I have something for the week. Achame ane kakibwa show ichu amu anetigei tuguk chechang and then awe akiba reflecten akobo sobet nenyunet ko kaikona motivation kora akobo impact akobo hustle neng'ung akobo bandang'ung akobo ministry kora neng'unget. Angen ane amawe theology but amite ngalekab technology but we all serve God in many different ways, so and I thank God for that. So alen kityongan ko ngoi missing amu kai kasarta inyo shonenyo ko chitugul nekakasech ing yo ko kongoi for tuning in. Kitindoi swali please post sikemuch keityi Bishop. Ako eng boisiet nae Bishop ko onge supporten tugul onge mete smagolen Bishop kiarichenji chumbek akemite kakamwa Bishop kole we are the richest people in the world, we are the richest people of our own resources, so onge tau process notok keonen boisionik chok achege. So ameche challenge, I will just throw it out there. Bishop, I hope somebody will hear atya kenyoru at least 5 people chekakostoi kosponsor lagok eng Mwamba Foundation ino akemeche as biik chechok makimeche sikebendi kesomsei kila yani tomo man koberurech Mungu. I think God has blessed that so much and we have so much to give, so thank you so much Bishop for that. Atindoi just one question and then gameche Bishop sikotiny ngalekab peace ak peace building eng our country. Kingen kele betusiek chekimite komite mi election yu kokeker eng other places, tos ne neimwochini biik atya itiny kora angen ale inye iboisie eng Turkana ak Pokot, how do you mitigate that ngap kekase violence, not violence but cattle rustling ak ngalekab peace building inye ako ne neimwochini emetab Kalenjin ak biik tugul chekasech. So but kongoi missing Bishop, angot akine aba Anglican abwati ale kase mama nenyu somewhere she's a lay reader in Anglican. Yes, so I grew up also ako mwalimuinik wazazi chechuk akine, so I know how being a teacher's daughter or a teacher's kid is. Ngalekab masomo komi barak, lakini kongoi missing, it's been a pleasure and we welcome you again. Ako God bless you in everything that you do. Kongoi.
Kongoi Bishop. Ko siwalu Bishop, siwalu kaigas, you know, so she's also Anglican and she's passionate about education. And imagine ngalega mentorship. commentan lagok jamia lobaga, you have the right person and she can do a lot. So is Ose as well. So we have a team of wonderful young people. Je mucho commentan bi. Ameja thought the sikip jungya si walute butya nagaba in nagaba janet. Ameja asam gut komiji nagase kaga sing tayo ye kaga mwa bishop kole kogo nyor 7 million je meja gotare that hostels not to meja ge onarane bishop muge ing paishonik chakararan. So in other words, 3 million. So big up Kalenjin joga said in good kui tinye ayebindo. Ibi jang bishop ngulemi agiro ilegatoret kote kotestai paishonika bishop muge ke ay tuguk chakararan. So mabwati ale imagarnon oye ko magario ago belup ko beruin java kugewe agbinyoru bishop kita negatinyo bishop konage mwa ile kitungongen magario negimi olimbo Philadelphia kopchei magornatet nya kogochi kanisa 75% kogochi anis nanyi 25%. Chitab Kalenjin ngole imi ngoti tindoi muguleldo ayebindo igonu got akikochi kanisa siro berurto nenyoru. So magimeche nyekele kakiarambe ngokongei biik aketar no situn kakibwa nyeketinye ole kibendi. Bishop ameche iwalu tebutiet kotomo amwa ng'olyo nebo let akakonin imwa ng'olyo nebo let. Bishop.
Before that, amache abor kityongon cathedral ni kabo Kitale. I think
Yes.
I had missed that one. So this is the cathedral, I believe. That's right,
Yes.
Bishop.
Yes, that is the cathedral.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the work that you're doing and giving back also. Agegere baishonigu. So asante. I just wanted to show that. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I kamaja legungwe kura yawaga mai watajet our ministry ni ngong nibo Igeere na Chitab Kalenjin. It's a wonderful tool and opportunity for all to participate across the globe. What a joy it is to ensure that we are all living together and seeing each other as if we are next door. And Kongwe Amagana, I got Hosea, Janet, Balosi. I've met Balosi a few times. The times we were in the US, we used to meet before I came to Kenya. I met him recently after I became a bishop. So Kongwe, Kungamu Waraja, we were not for the Navanga diocese, Agabanda Nanu, Nava, Savanda Nanu, ministry of diocese, were missing. Nalaga peace, I got reconciliation, kind of or Janet. Kitinye shida neo ang massive gumagon kubangalaga head of hospital. Togumaje big joking or ligubangalaga. A cow is not the only means of economic well-being. Ye togutom magunai big joking there is riches beyond a cow. It's a problem. So you will kill, you will steal, you will do anything to get an extra cow. To near famine and there is no rain, then you start to go to another grazing land and then conflicts come in. But again, that is where the source of the problems come in. The worshiping that they can change their economic approach to economic livelihood to other service industries, among other things, instead of depending on the cow. And a pastoralist mentality, with the land getting smaller every day with the growing population, that is not the means to do that. So, like community development, we have Anglican development services that we use that to help them improve the breeds of their cows, but also to move them to other ways of agribusiness rather than just depending on the cow. That is the primary reason for conflict between Pokot, Marakwet, Pokot, Turkana, and so forth. I think we need to look at alternative lifestyle. I also help them get livelihood. They are only depending on the cow. When the cow dies, you have to go to raid. are facing elections, so the issue of conflict is knowing the history of our country. Every 5 years we have issues going on, and the politicians have a part to play with this. As an Anglican church, we need get our strategy never get to your government officials. Can I how to have alarm systems to see any politician who is trying to incite people is alerted, the government is alerted, and they're able to intervene before the conflicts happen. So we are doing preventative measures before we get into a conflict. The diaspora, I just want to emphasize, like, God will use you wherever you are. When I was in the US, we started Mwamba, and God used that. We brought friends around us. We started the Mwamba Foundation. You can go that direction. We get our organization and liaise with the people at home or with your church. So when we started Mwamba, we gave a diocese as an office to do the distribution. It's only later on that it became an NGO. You can still do that, or can now go the direction of, here is an organization that's already established. Could it be World Vision? Could it be Compassion International for the kids? Could it be Bible translation? Bible translation and literacy, which translates Bibles into minority groups, and you support already existing organizations to do that. You can work with the diocese like that. I'm glad there are Anglicans here. Those ones can work with that. There are also AIC. There is AIC church, and look for means in which you can work with an established structures within the church, para-church organization. So good to need. Get a big America for all the years that you are still channeling your resources, your resourcefulness to do that. Like mentoring, Jaden, and those who are interested in, you can start with mentoring even those who come to the US. If you are going to offer yourself, Janet and a team from different parts, you want to America for studies. We can now have you as your contacts. So we just, the first thing is to tell them when you arrive in America, yeah, the people, me are going to be in New York, me are going to be in Ontario, you build a network. You have young girls, young boys who are coming there, and they are chasing for honey and milk in the wrong way, and guide them in the process to do that. So God will use you wherever you are, and I believe the diaspora is a blessing to God, not only remission of funds, but also in your resourcefulness. When you come home, you can always arrange for forums where you can talk, speak to leaders, young people, or whatever forums you want. And there are women, we have women ministries, very strong women ministry called Mothers Union. We can still liaise with that. As I said, and I offered myself, and I will offer myself again, if there is need to come up with such a database areas for people to assist, we can work on that and link them to where their passion is.
Kongoi nye Bishop engalale ngung ak chi age tugul nekakosubech kong'etege taunet akerin Benjamin Sugut Sumgong mangen ale imyeno ko kongoi amu kaisubech ak akwek tugul chekakosubech kongoi eng boroindo nekoi Bishop asikobit kinyekeng'alal tugul. Ameche amwa kongoi na inegei amu kenyo siketebi tugul ako makoi autye amwa ale kinyokituye kokayeku Bishop yu kikenyo Columbus nyenyo kanisenyo. Every time ngaker missed karon amu kikidriven kong'etege Ohio akebe akoi South Carolina, akebe North Carolina, kebunu Maryland, nyekebe akoi Philadelphia. So ingebendi karon ko very early Kogimi missed. So every time I see the missed abwat, lakini we went through and you kept me awake. Kogakonget Reverend Sang, ingatat kabisa Reverend, Guru Reverend, ingololwa sikobit ketestai amu there was a missed, ako Game Boy, ako magimeche keru. So, but I will always cherish that and remember, but kongoi ing boisiet tugul nito iyoe, atinye kamang'unet ale boisien Jehova eng tukchu tugul chu, tukchakemwa tugul kot kosulda tukyoto koek tuguk chetun kibwotenen. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for everything that you've shared with us, your life, your journey. Abwoti ale kakoek inspired peak. So tagetchini kora ale imeche itoret Diocese of Kitale your website ak iro ile ketoret eng orne. Ngimi diaspora, you can sponsor a student anan lakwet ing Mwamba Foundation anan iyai boisio age tugul amu kakokongei bishop kito necham kokorom eng kebeberi ko yengetyo diasporans komeche komengen kole iyokyin chepkonda anan ipkimas memosi bishop ae boisiet nekararan. We look forward tun kakibwa gaa nyekebwone akoi Kitale nyekebendi. I would want to eat at the restaurant. I would want to sleep at the hostels. I would want to go to Mount Elgon oleki kapkuko oleki kibunu tugul. So Janet, join me in the journey tun kakibe ak Hosea nyekebwone tugul ak nyekeng'ololji lagok neranik missing where our passion is nyekeng'ololjini sikiro kele kakitestai koki bororiet. Ko kameche sakonin imwa ng'alekuk chebo let Bishop, mangen uyo itinye ng'olyo in Janet. Kameche ndemukokse imwoiwech website nekimuchi kevisiten kot komeche koker chi anan komeche kotoret ko ano ole wendi Janet.
Kakabaruat kay Mwamba Foundation ako kale Reverend mite kora ACK Diocese of ACK Diocese Kitale. ACK Kitale Diocese and ACK Diocese Kitale please.org. So siwe yotok anan inyoru eng Facebook kotinye ichek Facebook nenywa nekikure ACK Diocese of Kitale kora abwati ale imuchi inyoru Bishop. Kakaker contacts chekamite eng Mwamba Foundation itkai. I can still share that and kotinye direct contacts chebo Bishop, so anyone nemeche ko you can reach Bishop here. So D.Chemengich@gmail.com akoroni number abwati ale imuchi inyoru Bishop right here. Atya ngiwe kora eng meet our where was it about us. No, there was a place nekatinye founders. Let me go back. Ngiwe i-browse, you will see Bishop Emmanuel Chemengich. Na utapata their contact details imuji inyoru directly eng you and then go Facebook page nenywa. So kongwe, that is.
Kongoi nye Janet. So chi age tugul neikose mokoi misen yewe undok yewe website inyoru toretet yeimeche itoret ako iassured ile kitoretin ako wendi toreteng'ung ole imokchinigei. So ako tosome kora chi age tugul nekoisube bororietab Kalenjin meken sure ile kerichen out siketoret Bishop kechongonji chepkondok cho kameche 3 million sikotare this hostel. Mokany kearambe, so abwati ale mi boisiek cheimuchi kokongei ak iberurin kosubkei ak boisionotok. So kongoi nye Bishop kimakun chemiach. Ameche akonin boroindo Bishop simwa ng'alekuk chebo let atya isoiwech ako sibwat murenoni kobo kebeberta nebo Joshua Boit nemite olimbo India nekasome ine kole oye obwatech eng saet kole korom kabisa kebeberatak akosubkei ak COVID nemi kebeberatak ak ibwat kora bichu tugul chu ak Bishop sisochi kora kotiny chi koker kole yome ketoret Diocese of Kitale ketar this kekonyit ak kemakan sure kele vision nekibo Bishop Muge kokarok tos hostels ako tun kerutochi yundo tugul ipkeboiboitu kele kitun yakisang betutab rani kotiny chi anan ko kikongei biik ak inyokwai. Kongoi ngakonin imwa ng'alekuk chebo let nyepata isoiwech asikobit ketar tetutiet nebo rani Bishop.
Nebo tai amache ale kongoi eng hostess chebo Igeere ne Chitab Kalenjin. Balozi Rono nikitaja kenyit nebo 2019 ak Reverend Sang when I came there. Kongoi Janet, nice to meet you. To know that you are a child of a leader, Walimu, like me. Gurun Java and position tugul position of programming. Ako saya theology and we have met before through learning at St. Paul's Theological College in Pastor. Kunyi kongoi amu gogono proinda nabo ngalale handa nenyu abo somonda nenyu ang nabo ministry. Kongoi kura ko programming ni amu Tora de wike jangne le ba ko ngud ko naile nene mi kwa to sanka nene to sami modu no gala ke basangoli a Kenyan to the nations chajang across the world go Rakova and Boishan. Now the next thing I want to committee budagaso so my closing remarks to amaja moje iktogol je bigu gase ngere jangyo. God has a purpose for everyone. And success in life, fulfillment in life, is knowing what is God's purpose for you. The sooner you recognize that purpose, the better. And God has chosen to bring people alongside us to enrich and make us fulfill that purpose. And you have to choose who to relate with, who not to relate with, unfortunately. And also you have to choose how to position yourself to be able to live fully to the purpose for which God called you. Life is filled with many choices. Choices on opportunities that come along our way. Some of those choices will include saying no, and others will invite us to say yes. So that the last part I want to say is, because God has a purpose for each of us, God will use us wherever we are. It doesn't matter whether you are in Australia, whether you are in Dubai, whether you are in Canada, God will use you where you are. To the immediate people, the neighbor with you there, but also back home in the village. You find those opportunities, they will come. God will show you those opportunities. I'm glad to say, as one who is on the ground, I like our says machinine. I'm giving myself. We can work with you as a host of this program to come up with a network of various opportunities to transfer, to invest back home in social investments, capital investments, and others. I like the fact that we are with the Optiven for other capital investments, but for social and spiritual investments, we can work together at assets, and we can expand that to include other denominations. If I want to go this direction, I'm able to send something home. Finally, we share this program, work the seek to the programs, the hostel for Bishop Muga. We still need 3 million. The Mwamba Foundation that you can get on the website as well. I pray that God will use this opportunity to partner with us and that you will be blessed because of that partnership. Let me pray now for Joshua. Kenyans to India and the Indians themselves because of the tragedy. I'm going to have Corona, that God may take it away. And then I will pray for Osea, Janet, and Rona as well. We will not Jehovah committed and what has tagged this program so that it reaches out to as many people as possible. We look forward to partnering again. We partner either here. Talking about that, we will prepare to host you whenever you come to Kenya. Either men or women or couples or young people. I have 385 congregations, 87 parishes. So if you are if you wanted to ask to facilitate that, you can always get to a forum for that. That you do wa yataja agimutago limbatul wetu limbakapuwa sigi borwo lagi bunwanu buwanabo nabarono ko nabajane, and others will try to trace the genealogy. It will be great to have you and to welcome you. And all the followers who are following this, wishing you the best in wherever you are, in your studies, in your pursuit of career, in businesses that God has given put in your heart. May you put God at the center of that, and God will give you great fulfillment in our generation. Then I can say the prayer and then talk about
Unmago mingalia Bishop, so of what you can pray.
Let's pray then. Almighty and everlasting God, we thank you for the privilege of gathering together by way of technology, seeing each other's faces, by way of those who have been following us online, that together we have been able to share in the life and the ministry that you have entrusted to me, sharing from my own experiences and reflections on that. I pray, Lord, that what I have shared would inspire one, two, or as many as will lead into. And I pray that my own experiences, my challenges, and what has come out of that will be able to touch and transform, will be able to inspire and encourage someone so that they will be better for listening and participating in this. I pray for the host of this program. The Lord, you will bless Ambassador Rono, Janet, Sarah, the Lord, as they interview many other leaders who will be coming to this program, that many others who will be brought on board will be not only inspired, but will be encouraged through it all, but that many who are about to give up may turn away from that and be able to hope for a better tomorrow. I pray for those who are in need. I remember Joshua Ward and the rest of the Kenyans in India who are facing a lot of challenges of infection, the danger of COVID-19 pandemic that is spreading wildly in that country. I pray for grace of protection, defend them from any attacks, oh God. They will be protected from infection. The Lord, they will be safe. Let them live to have a testimony of your goodness in their lives, oh God. I pray also for the Indians themselves, the natives of that country. Oh Lord, have mercy on them. Intervene, because the people have heard what your message is, that it is only God that we can rely on. We pray for all the nations across the world as we all face the challenge of pandemic. Lord, have mercy on us, forgive our nations, forgive our wickedness, remove this pandemic from us, and help us to know that it is only you who we can depend on. Bring healing, bring restoration. We pray for the nation of Kenya, the citizens of this country, those within and those who are outside. Lord, that through this program, that many will be still brought back together united, knowing that distance would not separate us from one another, because your love bounds us together. Through technology, may we be like a people from one village, people from one nation, people who will continue to work together towards the improvement of our own lives and the lives of those around us. We also pray for those who want to partner with the Diocese of Kitale, who want to partner with the Mwamba Foundation, those who are in touch to transform other people's lives through other agencies. We pray that, Lord, you let them fulfill their desires, and that together we'll work for a better Kenya, a better society here, and even a better place wherever they are. Bless each of us and meet our needs to your glory. In the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Kongoi kastoikyo, kongoi Bishop, kongoi chi age tugul nebo isubech eng tokwek cheomi, kakikesut tetutiet nebo betutab rani ko ketoroti kityo yeking'etye eng kebeberta nebo Kitale kebendi akoi ole kile St. Louis, noto ko Missouri. St. Louis ole kinyoru nekikure Queen Ruby Kendagor. Inendet Queen Ruby Kendagor ko kikisich akinde foster home akotebe yundok meche sikisut. Amakimeche sikenai kele sikekure Queen ko Queen nebo ano. Ko inendet taonyo neisubech anan neisubi Bishop ko kongoi amu story nenyinet anan bandanyi kora kokoi kocherin eng or age anan ko kocherin eng oret age anan ko age. Ko kongoi eng akwek tugul yeimokchinigei kiy eng kebeberta noto bo Octaven, imuchi ibirchi simet inendet Dorcas Chelagat eng number 0713-885-871 sinyorchigei kelchin nekatos irekei ak chi inyoru boroindo. Kimeche kemwa kongoi Janet, kimeche kemwa kongoi Hosea, kimeche kemwa kongoi Arap Sang nekomitei tetutiet ngobirro Jehova akoi tarik anan wikit neisubi. Kongoi neo.
Kalenjin ibwatene Imoene Chitab Kalenjin ilele nenye Igeere ne Chitab Kalenjin ibwatene Imoene Chitab Kalenjin